Stop talking about it.
I've been listening to every podcast, and every podcast when we introduce ourselves, after says, and I'm Jenn, I go, yeah.
Really?
I swear to God,
I don't remember that at all.
Makes me sad.
In every one of them, it's I'm Clint, and I'm Todd, and I'm Jenn. Ugh. Like, in every one of them.
I think you do.
I didn't even realize
Are you cutting them out?
You're realizing your own unconscious dickery.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. Like
Is it funny? Is that the word?
I'm going to continue doing it.
Aww.
I am going to continue doing it.
Welcome to the Horror Virgin. I'm Clint.
I'm Jennifer. Boom.
And
Beat ya.
And I'm the Virgin Todd, I guess.
We just got done watching.
I swear to God, not to get us. We're like 2 seconds in, already on a tangent. I swear to God, it's not a conscious thing. But I in every one of them, after you say your name, I'm like, ugh.
No.
Aww.
You just changed it to I thought it was something else.
Yeah, I think it's getting more disdain every time you do it.
I don't think it has to do with you. It's like, because Clint always asks about the movie, and I'm like,
It's because you don't like talking about the movie.
I don't.
No, I get it. That's how I take it.
You're
That's,
disgusted
I
every
lie to
time this
myself.
show starts. You're disgusted every time we start the movie, really.
Yeah.
You're like, it was like 2 hours ago, you were like, why do I do this?
Right.
Why am I doing this podcast?
when you were making your movie, yeah, I was like, what is my life that I'm doing this? This is the worst.
You love it.
I like you guys, and I like the audience.
So we just got done watching Child's Play.
Yes, we did.
Child's Play 1.
Yeah, and
to be correct.
And I've seen Child's Play 3, as you
have
mentioned.
seen Child's Play 3.
Yeah.
We used to host a previous podcast that is no longer with us, but we used to do a shitty threequel series.
Yeah.
And
We would watch
occasionally
shitty-
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you watch
And so-
Season of the Witch?
No.
No, but I remember you watched Child's Play 3 and you were like, I did not like this movie, but it was scary. It had like jump scares
Yeah,
to
I
it.
mean, this one did too. Like, this was much scarier than Frailty was. I mean, I don't know. Like, this wasn't that scary, but it was real dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty dumb too.
Yeah.
I would disagree. Jennifer watched. You have never seen
I've
this
never
movie.
seen any Child's Play movies.
That is crazy.
Did you sing that in the last one?
Yeah, I
we talked about this?
Crazy.
It's a callback.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
Okay, there were scary moments. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
I thought this movie held up very well. I really did.
Look, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's a Chucky movie,
Right?
And
It's about a killer doll.
A killer
Yeah.
doll. So yeah, I mean, for
gonna be
what
a
it
little
was,
silly.
it was good. It was an '80s movie. It was entertaining. I don't know. There were a couple of scary moments.
Yeah, I mean, as I think, I mean, we literally just watched it. We took a little break in between the movie. And
10 minutes.
What could we possibly have done?
we took
10
a little
minutes. We
break.
didn't take shits together. Should we clarify that?
Yeah, Clint
group
sat on my
shits
lap and we dribbled off the deuce. And
What
then
the fuck? What the fuck? Is that a thing?
It is
Okay,
now.
you know what? Let's just.
It is now.
No, let's move on.
So as I think back over it, I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't think it was a good movie. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't super scary, more scary than Frailty was, because Frailty's like my not scary at all movie. Frailty was more disturbing.
Yes.
This was more scary. But I would say Frailty's probably a better movie. But like this
yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
But I mean, this is why we do A movies, we do B movies.
Right,
This
and
is
I
a
would
B
say this
movie.
is a B
yeah,
movie. Yes,
absolutely.
definitely.
I mean, it even feels like an 80s sort of B movie, although I'm sure this was a major release back in the day.
It was. Yeah.
So the guy from Urban Legend was in it. The stuttering gas attendant from Urban Legend was in it. Yeah. I'm glad we did Urban Legend first, because that like opened my eyes to like
now you're
horror
seeing all
royalty
these
that we're going to see. Yeah.
Maybe we should watch Cabin in the Woods pretty early.
Ooh.
Say, that's the thing from Cabin in the Woods.
I don't know if
But
he's
yeah,
ready
I mean,
for
we
that.
could. Whatever.
You have to love horror movies to appreciate
true.
Cabin in the Woods.
And
Well, I
which
do not love
you do not.
horror movies.
You do not. That
so
might be the very last show.
I kinda
Whenever we
think
feel
so,
like
yeah.
we're going to end this show, that'll be the last.
That's the
So in like
Next
3
week?
weeks.
Yeah.
the
Hey, nailed it. So the movie starts off with this stupid kid making breakfast in bed for his.
He is a kind kid.
No. Sorry. The movie starts off with a shootout on the streets of
yes.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Steamy streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
Christmas time.
I assume it all started over a squabble over Garrett's popcorn.
We don't really know what's going on. Something obviously just happened.
You don't
and
even know one of them's a cop until like later on.
Yeah.
Until like the cop car starts chasing the getaway van and he goes, go after the van or whatever.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, oh shit, the second guy's a cop.
Well, he just looks like a dad is what he looks like.
I know, it
'cause
looks
he
like
just
Ted
has a
Nugent.
sweater vest on all the
It
time.
looks like Ted
And
Nugent is
I
shooting
thought he
a
might be a
dad.
vampire though. So
Do you ever see him during the day?
Oh,
I actually
shit.
don't know if you do.
Not outside.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Do you, Clint?
What?
Well, all we're saying is we think the cop in this movie is Lestat.
Do you know why I'm saying I think he's a vampire? Because he's the vampire in Fright Night that was also directed by Tom
Why?
Holland, who directed this movie.
I know that.
I didn't
have
even know
not
that.
seen Fright
I
Night.
do not.
God.
I haven't seen Fright Night in so long.
But I do
thought
know-
you
It's
meant
on the
Colin
list,
Farrell.
right?
Okay, so 80s Mark
Ruffalo, yeah.
Mark Ruffalo.
You made that joke, and I literally LOL'd.
80s Mark Ruffalo, always wearing a sweater vest, is chasing like the creepiest looking dude ever.
He looks like Ted
super
Nugent.
long hair.
He looks like Ted Nugent. Like it should be
Yeah.
playing Cat Scratch Fever in the
And
background.
he's got like the creepiest voice, the later voicing Chucky.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif, and he's like, "Please don't leave me."
Yeah.
Like his
Because he got
boss
shot in the
is,
leg.
he got
Yeah.
shot in the leg, and his boss, who's in a shitty car, drives
You
off
think
and
that
leaves
was
him
his
in this
boss?
alley.
That's Eddie Caputo. That's his sidekick, right?
Yeah, that's not his
Oh,
boss.
not his boss?
That's,
Okay.
that's his getaway driver.
Yeah, Brad Dourif is like the boss. in
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's right.
He's the criminal mastermind.
Right.
Okay.
He's the one who paints
Or
all
whatever.
the creepy stuff on the walls.
The murals.
Right. Murals.
Yeah.
Yeah, sidekicks don't do
The
that.
voodoo murals. I mean, the sidekick may be tasked with doing that, but
Exactly,
it
yeah.
is definitely the
he like fills
brainchild.
in the colors, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as soon as you see Brad Dourif's face, you know he's the bad guy.
Oh yeah, I
Really?
mean, but anytime I look at Ted Nugent, I'm like, oh, he's a bad dude.
So they end up in this toy store nearby.
Yeah.
No,
is
it-
that right?
It's
It
not a
kinda
question.
goes on
It
for-
is a toy store.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes on. It goes.
Yeah.
Well, I meant
After
like
he
it,
shoots the doorknob off.
okay, yeah.
No, I think-
it's like all glass, and he shoots the doorknob off,
I think one
and
of
then
those
goes
windows
in.
is even open too.
Yeah, and it's also,
There's no glass in the windows. He just shoots the doorknob.
yeah, it's also really weird because like the opening credits are going on during this shoot.
That
Yeah.
was sort of weird.
So
I've
it's
never
like,
seen that
yeah.
before.
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
Chris Sarandon was on the screen, it said his name underneath just in case anybody didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and it should have said Chris Sarandon. Yes, brother of Susan Sarandon.
Did you
Did we
confirm,
confirm that?
I did
Okay.
not, but it's
Oh.
got to. How many
If only we
Sarandons are
had a
there out there?
device. So yeah, opening credits. He shoots him. Does he shoot him in the back or the?
I think he shoots him in the leg because
He
he's
does.
like limping.
Well,
No,
no,
but
in,
he had
in
like
the
a
side.
big.
Yeah, so
he was about to die.
He
I
does
don't
die.
remember.
He gets shot, but I feel like he gets shot in the leg
In the
and then
street.
he runs into the
Yes,
store.
so your
Yeah.
timeline is right, but we were way past that.
You're just
So yeah,
behind Jennifer,
but
that's
you're
all.
right, Jen. He got shot in the leg in the street, and then he gets shot. He gets shot in the leg in the street, and then he goes into the store,
Yeah.
and then the cop shoots him in like the chest or some like lower chest area.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill him, but he's like he knows he's going to die. In fact, I think he even says, "I'm dying" or something
Right.
like that.
And the only
Yeah.
reason he does that is so when we hear the voice later, we'll know it's the same
well,
voice.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
he
that's
does
true.
the whole.
Yeah, he does. I will be
I'll get
avenged.
you.
I'll
Yeah.
get you and your little dog. Yeah.
I don't think that's what he says.
Jesus, you and your little dog.
Well, that's from Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Wicked Witch of
My
the Witch.
bad. My
Wicked
bad.
Witch of the Witch is not the right word.
Witch.
Wicked Witch of the
She said
West.
something about chewing on Dorothy's dog in that movie.
No,
I
not
don't
I'll
remember.
chewing
get you
on the
and your
dog.
little
And
dog.
your little dog,
I
too.
thought you said
Hey,
chewing
God,
on the
didn't
dog.
you go to
or
film
something.
school?
I don't know. I did.
Fuck,
Flying
Jesus,
monkeys, man.
Clint.
That movie scared me. I didn't watch it.
Have
again.
you
The
not seen Wicked?
Tornado scared me. I have not seen.
If you
I
see
have not
Wicked,
seen
man,
Wicked.
it'll. By the way,
I'm really going to try not to sing all the songs from Wicked.
I like musicals. Popular. It's amazing. I like
it.
musicals, guys, and vagina. It's fine. Those
You can like them
those
both
two
at the
things
same
can
time.
coexist. I
Yeah.
really wish I was in music theater growing up because
Oh,
I would
dude.
have slayed the puss.
You
'Cause-
weren't?
No, I wasn't. I was in like the band and stuff, so
Yeah.
I would play in the pit occasionally. But if I had been,
You're just a feminine dude. I just assumed.
I mean, that's fair. Like nothing. I mean, I'm skinny.
Like,
I
that's
like
accurate.
musicals. I like to make music, and I like to make the sex, ladies.
Were you the one that told me you
My
hate Grease?
God.
No, I like Grease.
Oh, you like
Yeah,
Grease?
I
Okay.
like the movie Grease much better than the
Yeah,
musical
I don't
Grease.
love.
Me too.
I don't love Grease too.
Nobody
loves
likes
Grease,
too.
too.
Okay, I
It's
really.
Michelle Pfeiffer and
Yeah.
it's just fucking. I always think it's Anthony Michael Hall, and it's not.
Is it not? Oh,
It's not.
I
It's-
really hate Cats though. Cats is
Yeah,
the
Cats
worst
is the
musical out there.
worst.
I never
If,
saw
if
it.
I'm
It's got
talking
one
to a,
good song.
if I'm talking to a chick and I'm like, so like, what do you like? And she's like, I like musicals. I'd be like, I like musicals too. What do you like? And she's like, I love Cats. I'm like, I'm out.
But nobody ever says that because nobody likes cats.
Cats is
I mean,
the
I
worst.
hate cats in
Yeah.
general. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
I mean, I'm allergic, so and
Well,
they're
there you
also
go.
the gateway to hell. Haven't you guys ever seen Constantine? I know
No.
Todd hasn't.
I don't
No,
think I've seen
gotta add that to the
clearly
list.
not. Keanu Reeves though. Let's do this.
Yeah, I do like
I
Keanu
know.
Reeves.
I know who's in it. Yeah.
Rachel Weisz?
I own it. Yeah.
I always thought her name was pronounced Raquel Welch.
I thought it
No,
was.
that's
I
a
thought it was
totally
Vice.
different
It's
person.
Vice, right?
Okay.
Rachel
I know.
Vice.
Rachel Weisz? Yeah.
So we're talking about what? All right, so anyway, he does the whole Ashrak, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yeah.
And then
He's saying like out loud. He needs a human.
The Bible. It's from the Bible.
That's right.
Wow.
So he transfers his body into the Chucky doll.
Because that's all that's around. Like, he actually is saying out loud, like, I need someone. I need a human or
it's
whatever.
Either Rainbow
and
Bride
then,
or Chucky.
So he puts
there were no Teddy Ruxpins around.
No,
so
that would have been a scarier movie, I think. But yeah, anyway, he transfers his body into this shitty doll, and then it cuts to, the lightning and the explosion for no reason that you were making fun of.
What the fuck happened here? The lightning struck the toy store, but something caused an explosion?
The evil.
No, it wasn't
exploded.
evil. That was a toy store / propane and propane accessory outlet. So it
Was that what it was? Okay.
No. It was just a bad movie.
That always makes you think of King of the Hill.
Like Hank Hill's in the back.
You
We sell
remember-
propane and propane accessories.
He does the voodoo.
He does, the
chant.
voodoo that you do so well.
He's in the doll, and I guess he dies. Yeah, I mean, he
he
transfers
dies.
His body
he transfers his soul.
His body,
to
His body
the-
dies. And then it cuts to a kid who can't do anything right, making breakfast in bed for the mom that never wears a bra.
On his own birthday.
Yeah.
Don't you get up at like 4 a.m. and take
Yes,
care of everybody?
I do, because that's the only time I can be in my house when no one will talk to me.
Oh, damn.
I love my family, but but yeah, I get up super early, and they get up at like 6:15.
The stupid kid is like being super passive aggressive.
No, he's just spilling shit all over the place. He's trying to be
an
he's being
adorable
passive-aggressive
5-year-old, Todd.
because
He's being an adorable. He's
Right.
trying to cook the. He's
5-year-olds
fucking
aren't
up the.
passive-aggressive.
He's fucking up the cereal. He's fucking up the toast. He's trying to make an adorable.
Dude, the amount of
breakfast for his
spoonfuls
mom.
of sugar on that is atrocious.
Right.
He's trying to give his mom diabetes.
Yeah. And he takes the whole
Diabetes.
chunk of butter and just slaps it on a piece of toast that he
These
burnt.
kids are dumb.
Well,
Did we ever? Did they ever say how old he was or how old he was
5.
turning?
He was turning
it 5?
6. It was his 6th birthday.
His 6th
okay, so
birthday,
he's
okay.
6.
Yeah, he is 6.
Clearly, he can take care of himself. He doesn't need his mother.
Anyway, so he wakes the mom
Well,
up.
wakes
Good
the
thing
mom
for
up.
him.
He's
Well,
like, it's a beautiful day. I'm like, it is a shitty Chicago winter day.
Yeah,
it is
beautiful.
Not, it is not beautiful.
Cold ass Chicago day.
Yeah.
So
Sunshine,
we're introduced
though?
to the most 80s mom
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
But she doesn't wear a bra, which I was a fan of. There's no bras in this movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Well,
if that's confirmed.
She does the same thing on Seventh Heaven.
Really?
I'm just making that up. All I
'Cause that doesn't
remember,
seem like the kind
all
of
I
show where
remember
they'd
this
have people
actress
running
from is this movie and Seventh Heaven.
All of a sudden, I want to watch Seventh Heaven.
You know Jessica Biel's in that.
You know
Is
the
the
dad got
daughter-
in trouble, right?
Oh, really? For her? Yeah, with her, right?
Even
Oh,
people that
no.
play a pastor get in trouble.
Yeah, I
what,
know,
what,
right?
what did he do?
I'm pretty
Something
sure it was
sexual. I'm
sexually
sure.
related.
Of course.
I'm not sure. Yo, listeners, tweet at me to tell me what they did, what he did.
What was the Seventh Heaven scandal?
right.
The passive aggressive child, whose name I can't remember. Do you guys remember?
Andy.
His name is
Andy. He really wants a child's play, or what is
He
it?
wants a Good Guys doll.
Good Guys
Yes,
doll,
it's
right?
on TV.
He's
and they
watching
have
the
this-
shitty cartoon,
this
right?
giant, like, man in a creepy costume. Of
And
the
I will
Andy
say,
doll.
the mom does pull the best fake out ever. Like, she wrapped a big box that looked like a Good
yes.
Guys box.
Fuck
For
that.
and
like
it
a
was
pair of pants.
Yeah,
That
it was
was-
a single pair of
Right.
pants.
That was sad. That
And
was
listen,
sad.
I grew up in the like 80s, 90s. I was a kid, right? And we didn't have a lot of money, and I did get clothes as gifts. And that's not it's a
Yeah.
shitty gift. It's not a great gift. But, you know, moms are doing what moms got to do to
Right.
get by.
But don't put
So,
it
like-
in a giant box that's the same size as the
Right.
doll, you know? And I
Right.
mean, this kid, and this is what I was confused by, because I'm always confused by like movie economics. This kid is wearing what Chucky is wearing. He's
Yeah.
wearing like the good guy overalls and this like striped shirt, and the mom can afford like everything but the doll. Like, I can
Right.
afford these clothes, I can afford the accessories that
The
go
house.
along with the doll. She is teasing
Yeah.
this child.
Well, she said that
She's
she didn't
teasing
know
him.
about it in enough time to save the money. So if she'd had a little bit longer, she probably would have been able to get it. for
Okay,
him.
so how does
has a
she not
job.
know he wants the doll in time, but has enough time to just buy him everything else related to Good Guy dolls? Like, he's
That's
already
true.
wearing the uniform.
are they-
I was very confused by
Like,
that.
you would think the doll would be the first toy that comes out,
yeah.
you know, and then all
Well,
the
yeah.
accessories come later. So
Yeah.
how's the doll not the first thing you get?
And is this doll really $100 like in 80s terms? Because today that'd be like $200. I'm making that
I'm
up.
pretty sure.
But
yeah.
inflation rates,
Yeah.
it sounds right? So, yeah.
know.
It sounds right, right?
Do they make
Right.
dolls
Right,
now?
right.
Do they
Right,
make
guys.
dolls now that cost like $200 to do all this shit?
I think so.
They do
yeah.
make dolls now that cost $200, but you
But
could
they do
fuck them.
way more. But they, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Do you want to see the one in Todd's trunk?
Wow, I really hope certain people aren't listening to this.
Okay, so also she works basically at like the mall,
Like,
right?
Bloomingdale's or
Like
whatever.
Bloomingdale's
She's got
at the mall.
biggest dick of a boss.
But she has
Like, do you like your job,
the
Nancy?
biggest apartment in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
It is a nice apartment.
Yeah, like a
She probably got the
apartment
when her husband was still alive.
Interesting.
That's I think that's true too. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is the man paid for everything and then he died?
No, what
and
I'm
then-
saying is
'Cause
that
it sounds like what you're saying.
When you have two incomes in a household, you have more money.
Okay, but
Yeah.
how could she afford the apartment?
Oh.
If the husband
Maybe there
died?
was life insurance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That would
right,
also sort of
all right.
explain why she's a little bit house poor and she would have to
Right,
save
right.
money. Like they're doing okay, but
She
would
has
have to save
very
money.
nice clothes too. Like
She does.
like an easy
I feel like
fix
she
to
wears
this
the
movie
same
would be
boots
just like
and
make
skirt
her
the whole time,
wealthy.
She does with
Yeah.
the same boots and skirt the whole time. And again, guys, no bra. It's a great movie.
Well, that's how she saves all her money. She just doesn't buy bras.
She's not wasting that bra money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Bras are expensive.
So $100 in 1988 when this movie came out.
What are we talking about? Box office now? Or are we talking
No,
No,
about
we're talking
the
about how
doll?
much the Chucky
It's
doll
$200.
is.
It's worth
yeah.
it's $260.
So if she wasn't having to
you
watch
looked it
her
up.
money,
Okay, 2 and
there's
6. That
no
was close.
reason to buy this
Yeah.
from a homeless peddler, right?
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
Yeah, so okay, so that's
the
the next day at work,
Yeah.
we meet her best friend who might or might not have red hair and her dick of a boss, and the boss
Yeah.
is like, "You got to work tonight because some stupid lady called out," and she's
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's my son's birthday," and he's like, "I don't give a fuck,"
Yeah.
and
this
makes her work.
bow tie wearing motherfucker.
Don't
It's a
knock
pink bow tie,
guys.
too.
Don't knock the bow ties now. Come on now.
He's like, do you like your job?
Yeah.
Do you like your job?
Really?
What a cock.
He is sort of the
Sorry.
worst kind of. No, I mean he's.
I don't
right.
like authority.
Well, I mean he is.
even in
he is
even
sort-
in the fictional world.
Yeah, he is sort of a dick. Like,
Well, yeah.
the best friend who may or may not have
Andy
red hair.
Potts.
Whatever.
And it also
Bolo
might
Andy
be like
Potts.
her husband's sister because he kept calling her aunt. So I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
I took that as
shit.
just kind of a like.
Okay, like best friend.
Yeah, I
we're
have
gonna
a
call
friend
him
who
an aunt.
I have. Their daughter calls me Uncle Todd.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because
why?
no, not
Are
in
you
a
really-
weird way. Just
Okay.
like because you know why.
Like, why else would
Jesus.
this guy be hanging around? Right?
Well, I mean, I'm a close friend of the family. It's fine. Anyway, she might have been sister-in-law.
Okay.
She could have
They
been.
don't really
yeah.
address it.
And
you know?
it doesn't ever say what happened to the husband either, right? Like
just
they
that he
I don't
was
say.
in
think they
heaven.
did. He was in heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking
And she
testicular
keeps-
cancer.
Probably.
It's gotta be.
It was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was all
going
the
around.
rage.
Yeah,
Ooh, maybe
because
it was-
nobody was getting checked.
Maybe it was
Go
AIDS.
get yourself checked. You talk about AIDS in every podcast.
That's because it
You're
came
upset.
out.
You
in-
have AIDS?
No.
Is that what? Is
Ladies.
this like passive aggressive?
Ladies.
Like you're getting.
Oh my god!
I don't have AIDS.
Have to cut this out. Yet.
Let's start a podcast called "Do You Have AIDS?"
I'm out.
I like how in every episode we come up with like 5 other podcasts.
Yeah. Somebody's. There
Up
has,
next on
there
Do You Have
has-
AIDS?
If there is a fan out there, tweet Todd with
Oh
the
my
list of all the
God.
big podcasts
Oh
that
my
we've come up
God.
with.
At
We'll put it on a
Todd J.
t-shirt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mom comes home, gives him the Chucky doll first because
That's
he
right.
said she could have a couple hours off.
And kids are dumb. The Chucky doll is wrapped up in like brown paper.
Right.
And she goes, "I have one last gift for you." Hands him the box and says, "It's not groceries."
Right.
Yeah, no shit. Groceries
Yeah.
don't come in boxes like that. This isn't Blue Apron. Like that shit does not
like if
exist.
you gave an adult that package, they would be like, "Where did you get this?"
Yeah.
But it's
Right.
a kid and he doesn't know the difference,
Well,
and he's
and
like, "Oh
aren't
my
they-
god."
She works at a department store. Don't they have gift wrap there?
Yeah.
That is an excellent.
Yeah,
point.
but do you think her dick of a boss would let her use the gift
That's
wrap?
true.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo,
here,
that dick of a boss was trying to give her the dick. I know.
Oh yeah,
it.
that's why I said, "Do you like your job,
Yeah.
Susie?"
Do you like this
Well, the friend was
job?
like flirting with him, like touching him, like, "Oh, come on, Bob,"
Oh, she was
or whatever.
She was playing with his bow tie.
trying to.
Yeah.
Trying
Oh,
to-
yeah.
And they
trying
both
to
looked at
get
him
some
weird at
favors.
the very end. It was the end of the scene, and he said something, and both went,
I mean,
Well, no,
I think they were fucking over in the shoe department because that's where she works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
just my theory.
Ooh.
And he's
Anyway.
mad because Blondie won't. That's why he made her work late.
What it is. She still misses her husband. What kind of person wears their wedding ring 6 years?
Did they say 6 years?
We don't know.
Actually, we don't know. That's right. Good call. It may have happened like in the summer. I
You're
feel
clearly
bad.
insinuating he
feel
committed
bad.
suicide before his child was born because his child would be born.
Clint,
I'm
that's
just
our
saying.
plan.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
our plan.
All right.
Oh my God. Ladies, they are single.
We are single. Lady, am I single?
We can't be around for our own
Yes.
Is
kids.
it complicated? Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
I am.
God.
All right, fair enough.
Spin-off podcast.
That really the podcast of Am I Single? And the answer is just yeah.
Yeah.
Todd. Yes, you are.
It's like a 2-minute podcast. So where were we?
We are it's Friday night, and
So,
they're watching
Chucky
TV.
wants to watch the news.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently Chucky, what's really going on is like Chucky's whispering shit to the kid.
I liked the way this reveal happened.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the kid is telling the best
Annie
friend or
Potts?
whatever, the babysitter.
It's not actually Annie Potts.
It's Bobo and
It's
Potts.
not.
It's like
Yeah,
Annie Potts
poor
with
man's
a
Annie
little bit
Potts.
darker hair.
Yeah.
Poor man's Mark
Red
Ruffalo.
or
everybody in this movie is
brown.
a poor man's something.
Poor man, somebody.
Yeah.
Except for Chris Sarandon.
So he goes to her
He's a
and he's
poor
like,
man.
Chucky wants to
Susan's
watch.
right.
Chucky wants to watch the news. She says no. She puts them both in bed, and
Yeah.
then she goes back to the kitchen. She turns around. She sees Chucky sitting in the living
Watching
room
TV.
watching TV.
Like
Yeah.
a fucking boss.
Yeah. And what a coincidence. He's watching the very clip he wants to see, which is like his boss. What was it?
Eddie
I keep saying
Caputo?
boss. God damn it. Yeah. What was
Caputo's
the deal?
no
What did they
one's
say on the news? Like he got away.
Yeah.
He like
Yeah.
escaped.
We
Yeah.
think he's hiding in this building.
And then the babysitter is all pissed off that what is happening? You guys are making faces. I don't know what's happening.
She's doing shitty impressions of me, Clint.
Oh, I see.
It's the worst. No, it's hilarious. All right, but the podcast can't see it, so it's just like the most confusing thing ever. She like the whole podcast. She just does impressions of me to piss me off.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it.
It's fine.
Wow.
Oh,
That was the right tone of voice.
Yep.
oh.
That's what happens when you groan every time you say my name. All right.
I should have told you.
So the
Yeah.
babysitter gets pissed that clearly she thinks he brought the doll back in after she
Right,
said
and she
no.
gets mad.
He goes
Yeah.
back in. She goes back in and yells at him.
And
He,
then
like,
she
tucks
goes
him back
and just-
in, right? And
I think she just hangs out with all the lights off, and then she starts hearing like creepy noises.
Oh, that's true.
She's like,
Yeah,
"Ooh."
so that's when
And then
Chucky
she
is
takes the
fucking
camera
with
on
her.
a tour of the apartment.
Yeah, and we see glimpses of him just kind of like running behind her
Yeah.
down the
Right.
hallway, like shit
Right.
like that.
And you don't know for sure that it's Chucky if you've never seen this before. Like it could be.
well
the kid.
because they're
Oh,
dressed
that's
the same.
interesting.
They're
Yeah.
dressed the same.
They're dressed
right?
the same.
That
They're
is
the same
very
height.
interesting. Okay,
Like I
yeah.
feel like they're trying to maybe kind of make us think it might be Andy.
I think the first time you see him move in a way that is not like the way the doll is actually supposed to function is when he's about to get thrown in the fire the
Okay.
first time. But
By the mom.
I
By
wonder
the
if
mom.
audiences. I wonder if we should have watched the trailers. I wonder if the trailers revealed if Chucky was actually alive or not.
Yeah,
I wonder
that's
if
a good
audiences
question.
actually thought
might
that back in
actually
the day.
have some.
But I watched the sequels first, and so did Todd. So
and I mean, I feel like at
we've
this point
been
everybody
around
knows
for-
it's
right.
Chucky.
Everybody knows.
yeah,
he's
everyone
alive.
knows who Chucky is. Yeah,
It could have been
Yeah.
Andy in the first one and Chucky
mean-
in the sequel.
I knew
Maybe it
who
was
Chucky
Chucky's
was, and I'd never seen it. Like, but even before Child's
Yeah.
Play 3, I knew who Chucky was because
Right.
he's such a part of the pop culture. You know,
Yeah.
Just like Jason. Like I know all about the Jason, and we have watched Freddy vs. Jason at this point.
That's true.
But I knew all about Jason as
Okay.
far as like how he died and that his mother was in the first one. Like I knew a lot of the reveal of the first movie, but
Yeah.
just because people talk about it all the time, you can't help but overhear
Well,
it.
it's like they don't actually say that Michael Myers is Laurie's brother in the first movie.
What?
But we all assume.
I didn't know that.
You didn't? Oh.
Well, they add that later.
It's in the second one, right?
Well,
Or
it
is
doesn't.
the third one? This can't be the third one.
It is in the second one, and the second one was also co-written by John Carpenter. So
Yeah.
it's a little weird
Wait,
that
is Laurie True Lies chick?
Jamie
Yeah,
Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Did I just refer to Jamie Lee Curtis as True
It's
Lies
True Lies
chick?
chick, yeah.
But it
Good.
doesn't.
I do
Well,
like
in the
True Lies,
remake,
though.
they're going back on it. We just watched the trailer,
Yeah.
so
Sorry, that was a spoiler for Halloween that everybody in the world knows except for Todd.
I don't watch scary movies, guys. Welcome to the premise of the podcast.
you will be watching that along with the
Oh,
new
yeah.
one in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, watch the trailer, everybody. It's awesome. So there was an earlier draft, I think, and they, instead of the serial killer like voodooing himself into Chucky, I think like Chucky, the way it was made, like their skin could bleed and you would have to do first aid on it or something. And
What?
apparently, yeah, I know it's crazy, but Andy got a cut and Chucky got a cut and their blood intermingled, and that's how Chucky started to come alive.
Well, that's real dumb.
Well, yeah, that's why they rewrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
I'm
one of
waiting
the
for
original
age
scripts.
joke.
Maybe he's maturing.
Ladies, don't worry. I'm not maturing. I'll never open up emotionally because that's how you get hurt. Okay, sorry. What are we talking
Save
no
them
about?
for
good.
the On My Single podcast.
That's no good. So Chucky's basically fucking with her, like making a bunch of noises behind her and shit like
Yeah.
that. Playing mind
Spilling,
games with
spilling
her, yeah.
flour.
Spilling flour. He moves a
Yeah.
chair in front of the door for some reason.
That makes no sense.
I
Yeah,
know.
I also didn't really understand the plant. Like, did she hear a noise behind the plant next
Yes,
to the
I
window
think
or
so.
and I
something?
feel like those plants, the only reason they were that tall is because Chucky might be hiding behind them. Like
100%.
nobody has a planter that's that tall.
100%, yeah.
Right, so she goes
But
and,
he is
like,
home
checks
alone
the,
in this house. He's like putting traps
He
up
is,
and
yeah.
Basically,
putting
yeah.
flour on
he
the
does
floor
something
and-
like that
yeah.
in the sequels too, where he like sets up. He actually kills somebody
put, like,
by way
some
of
micro
toys.
machines.
Remember, that's the opening of Child's Play 3.
Yeah.
There's one asshole listening. Yeah, I love Child's Play 3.
It's the best.
I like them all.
You're the asshole listening.
I am the one listening to ourselves in the car right now. Babysitter chick turns around, gets a hammer to the face.
Yeah, like a tiny little ball peen hammer too.
Yeah, like it's not
like
really
a Chucky size hammer.
Right, like the good guy hammer.
Yeah,
it actually might have been the good guy hammer.
The kid Andy was playing with a hammer earlier, right?
It may have been the good guy hammer. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
and then kind of falls into the window.
She goes back and she like trips on stuff and she pulls like the tablecloth out and she goes.
She's trying,
and then she like omens out the window.
Then it cuts to the outside and she clearly has jumped out the window. Like the trajectory is amazing.
Yeah,
it's like Exorcist. The corner apartment, right? Like we were talking about how it looks like the apartment from Ghostbusters 2.
It does, and
we
might
couldn't really confirm it. But yeah. And so when she was falling, I was certain they were not going to have the balls to show her landing.
Oh,
and
me
they
either.
Do.
Yeah, she lands on a fucking like Ford truck or something.
I was like slow clapping.
I know.
She folded this truck in half. Yeah. It was
Did you guys
awesome.
see me like tighten up? Yeah. I was laying on the studio couch. That's right, ladies.
Your sphincter just froze up on the couch.
That's right, ladies. We have a casting couch.
We do. We have two.
But yeah, I froze up on it. Not when you're here, Jen.
Oh.
I froze up on it so hard because it was there.
It's pretty fucking brutal. Yeah. I mean, they didn't show blood spattering. That could have made it better.
I mean, they just dumped a mannequin on top of a car.
It was pretty fucking
tight,
though.
Way to ruin the illusion.
I think this movie, like effects-wise, I think holds up really well. Like there weren't a lot of cheesy Chucky shots either.
No, there weren't. I feel like a lot of 80s movies that understood where the technology was still hold up well.
Yeah, because it used practical effects, instead of CGI. So it gets a little CGI-esque in the last couple Chucky movies. But the friend is dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she comes home and she's flipping out.
And they're just cops like reading the newspaper on her couch and like talking to her son.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
So there's like police tape all around this apartment. The mom just runs in and says, I live here, and then runs through, runs all the way up to the apartment, and the cops just like, oh, I guess she lives here or whatever. Like, they don't do anything.
Right.
Like, nobody tries to call her at work?
No.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Yeah, the first time she got wind that something bad was happening was when she got there and saw the police.
Yeah.
And then her dead friend on top of the car.
Yeah. Which she didn't care about. She just went into the house. Of course, I mean, that's what I would do if your kid was up there.
Well, she didn't see. No, she didn't see the. They had cleaned that up.
Yeah, I think the body may have been in the ambulance.
She faints when she hears the news. Like she's upset. You remember that for like a minute? Like she's like, how did?
And she pulls it together for her son.
I honestly thought the dad from Home Alone was going to slap the shit out of her when she fainted.
The dad from Home Alone.
I don't know. The guy who looks like
nothing like John Hurd.
What?
That's his name, John Hurd. He was in Deceived.
But
Susan Sarandon's
brother
wears
a lot of sweater vests, so you're right.
And turtleneck sweaters too, with suit jackets.
So yeah. Anyway, when she fainted, I thought for a second we were going to get one of those like airplane slap moments where like all the cops line up to slap the shit out of her.
Like a socket ring.
I don't know. And Jen, maybe you can attach this to the patriarchy on some level, but why is that a thing? Because they do it in Clue, although in Clue I think they're making a joke out of it. But like, have men ever slapped women into sanity? Like that makes no sense to me.
No, but anytime a woman is upset, they say she's hysterical.
Well, yeah.
Back in the 40s, in the movies in the 40s and 50s, they would do that. When a woman is hysterical, they would be like, just slap them around.
Yeah. I
mean, that's what everybody does today at home, right? I mean,
you grew up very differently from me, I think.
I just want to see if I can earn Jennifer stares, which always work.
But yeah, I don't know that I've ever. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't
You don't know
work.
that you've ever slapped a woman?
So
Is that
don't
what you're
slap
saying?
a woman if you're
don't ever do
upset.
that.
I've never hit a woman out
Dude,
of
a
anger.
woman would beat the shit out of you. Getting the shit kicked out of us by women. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about kicking the shit out of women.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah, don't talk about
I'm talking
that.
about women would fucking murder us if we ever
Look
did
at
something
me.
like
Yeah,
that.
I
Look at
might.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we even say something wrong, we get our asses kicked. Which
never-
happens often. Have you
Anger.
ever been thrown into a dumpster by a woman, Jennifer? It's humiliating.
Has that happened to you?
It's your fucking tone of your voice.
Oh.
Okay, so babysitter's
Yeah,
dead.
she's dead.
The
Cops
mom
are
is-
questioning and flirting and reading newspapers.
He's flirting
and just
with
not
her
taking it seriously.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Immediately.
So when the mom tries to kick him out and he like pokes his head back in, I swear to God he's gonna be like, "So you gonna get that dick or what?" Like,
Yeah, like he open. It's like we're like in a romantic comedy now. He's like opening the
seemed
door,
that
being
way.
all cute and stuff like that.
We got to talk about the footprints too, though, in the flour.
We do,
Oh,
and we also
yeah.
need to talk about how the mom is just like, "Hey, I don't want anybody in my apartment anymore,
just
so you
kicks them
guys
all
can leave."
out.
And they're like, "All right."
That's not how.
That is not how murder investigations
That's not
work.
how cops cop. I'm just
No.
gonna say that right now. Yeah, that's when they bring up the whole shoe prints in the flour. They're
Yeah.
like, But don't worry, I went through your son's shoes and they don't
In
match.
the closet, but the ones he was wearing
the ones he was wearing do match
do.
because to your point, Clint, they were the exact same because he's wearing the same outfit Chucky's
Chucky's outfit.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like a shoes with a bunch of weapons on the bottom of them, too.
Well, no. It's just the tools that come with.
It was odd, but there was also a gun.
Well, yeah, because if you look at the
he's
side
like
of them,
sheriff.
there's I think it was cowboy, but it might have been like sheriff because he's on a horse and he's got like a hat on. Yeah, on the side of the box, he's on the horse with a hat on and a gun.
So a bunch
and
of
then he's like
types
builder.
of
He's like
dolls.
builder. Yeah.
Is this the first time you've paid more attention in a movie than me?
I don't know about that. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I'm sure I've seen that you haven't seen that I focused on for like 90 seconds.
They were thrilling.
It's another Parks and Rec reference.
I'm going to put it in every episode.
It's a masturbation joke, Clint.
Yeah.
Thank you. What is masturbation?
What?
Todd, show him.
Jen, leave. Daddy's got to work.
Out.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I'm
Another
cutting
podcast.
everything.
Another podcast title, Daddy's Gotta Work.
I do want to say, in the last podcast we did, I talked about the watching porn that my friend's dad was
with
wearing
your
upstairs.
friend's dad.
And I talked about that makes it sound like I watched porn with my friend's dad. That was not the story. If you missed the story, go back and listen to the one before that.
You
I
were
wasn't
in
using
sync with the father.
No. I did do a lot of cyber sleuthing and found
sleuthing.
I found the video. I found a trailer for the movie I was referencing, and I sent it to you guys.
Lover
Clint didn't
Boy?
see it. Yes,
Yeah.
and it had.
I do not read your
It
email.
had.
It had
wasn't
McDreamy
email.
in it.
It had McDreamy in it. It had
McDreamy, Kirstie Alley.
yeah, it had some big fucking names in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
That's the pizza
Dr.
with extra
Derek Shepherd.
anchovies.
It is.
Right?
It is. And so that just goes to prove I wasn't watching like penetration porn. It was just like, I was like 13 or 14 and it was like porn to me because I'd never seen nudity in a movie. So it was like the first time I'd ever seen that. Anyway, whatever.
We believe you, Todd.
Vindication,
Whatever you
nerds.
say, Todd.
Feels good.
Vindication.
was
We are still in the first 15 minutes of this movie.
It's a short movie, so we're good. We got some wiggle room here. You know what? I remember this movie being. I remember like before we even started watching, I told Todd I was like, just to prepare you, this movie's really slow. It really wasn't. The
No,
pacing
it wasn't.
really. It moves
Of this
really
movie?
fast. Yeah,
I didn't think it was slow
It
at
moves
all.
really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
I guess I had memories of like it mostly took place in the apartment, and they leave a lot.
Yeah.
Like
They
they
do.
don't really come back to the
Yeah,
apartment
you said
till
it was
the
mainly
end.
in one location, and I was
I'm
thinking
just-
there's like the house from Fight Club,
I don't know,
and then
man.
there's the
I thought it was
I
gonna
haven't
be-
seen this movie in 4
When
or
you
5
told me
years.
that, I thought it was gonna be like The Room. Like we were gonna see, we were gonna see the guy walking in and be like, hi, Chucky.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you
Oh,
meant
no.
Room,
Not Room.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that movie is
two very different movies that
next
people still get
l-
confused.
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
seen her.
Don't watch it.
It'll traumatize
You
there's a reason
wouldn't
I
like
watched
it.
it.
I mean, I didn't like it, but there were elements of it that never mind. But it was pretty fucked up. I'll just
Yeah.
say that it was pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that happens, Jen and I were talking about, this always happens in horror movies when a murder happens, whether it's a child or a high school student or whatever, they just go to school
go to
the next
school,
day.
yeah.
She just drops them off. She's like, sweetie, you didn't have any nightmares, did
Right.
you, about dead Maggie?
And
Did you
Andy's
have
like,
any...
nah, bitch, I'm cool. Let's go to school.
He's like, I'm good.
dead inside.
I'm
It's
good.
okay.
She's like, good, because I can't afford a babysitter or whatever.
Well,
she didn't
and
say
she
that.
probably
but...
can't. Like
Yeah.
that dude was going to fire her if she
Well,
didn't
her
work on his
his
son's
babysitter's
birthday.
dead.
Right.
There's nobody left.
yeah, he or the doll murdered the
has to
babysitter.
put an
Anyway,
She really isn't
advertisement.
going to be able to, like, if she hired another babysitter, they're like, what is this yellow tape here for?
Right.
Oh, don't
this
worry about it.
babysitter-sized hole in your window.
so he walks in, she walks away, and he immediately walks out and goes to the subway.
Right.
This-
Okay, and you don't take your giant dolls to school with you.
No.
So that would be at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
don't
don't-
let
Do
him
they
take it,
really
the
not
kid
let them
do?
do that? I don't
No,
remember.
they don't.
Okay.
They do not let you take those kids
No.
because
Okay.
the kids, all the kids will fight over them, and it's just a huge deal.
I see.
It's
Or
also,
they-
the doll is as big as he is.
Right,
Like,
and
it is
tall.
Right, okay.
huge.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, maybe the mom didn't know that. But
No.
yeah, okay.
She
All
should
right.
know the
So
daycare
what's really
paperwork.
going on here that we find out later is that Chucky is instructing him to basically go across town to the south side of Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Chucky has revealed himself to Andy, which is important later, right?
Oh, yes.
He
We
said
have
that
not
he's
seen
Chucky.
that
Because-
as audience members, but it has
Right.
happened.
But okay, because the doll's name is not Chucky. Like every doll that gets sold, he doesn't say I'm Chucky and I'm your best friend.
Right,
Right.
Right, he's using his nickname because
So
his
if
real name
anybody,
is Charles.
like if Chris Sarandon had like a nephew that had this doll and didn't hear him say Chucky, he might think, hey, that's weird, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Right.
So that never happens.
Yeah.
Well, they all
Right.
have different
But it
names.
could.
All the
Do
dolls
they?
have different names.
I do-
Well, they reveal
What if
that in
you
the.
got a
They
doll
say that
that-
in the sequels that they do.
I got the impression
Right.
based on the cartoon that he was watching at the very beginning that they all had different names.
Really?
Or that they probably had like 80 names and like,
yeah.
you know.
What if you get a name you don't like Cletus?
What's his name?
Cletus?
No, not Cletus. Winston?
Winston.
Not Winston.
I knew you were going to do that.
Every time.
That still freaks me the fuck out. Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh,
Todd.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Too
you've
scary
seen that.
for
I
you.
have seen that.
That's
I
a
have seen
freaky
that.
ass scene when they
Yeah.
go down into the haunted subway.
Dude, okay, every time there was a skylight with lightning, I kept thinking the Statue of Liberty was going to like bonk it, you know?
Oh, that's funny.
Like whack-a-mole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very Highlander-y lightning strike.
It
haven't
was.
seen Highlander.
It was the quickening for sure.
Yeah. Jesus. Don't you ever fucking mention
Well,
that.
no, I mean,
In my house.
No, I'm not talking about the movie, but that act is
Yeah,
the
right.
quickening. I'm not.
That's true.
That's the
You are-
shitty.
you are right.
Yeah.
You are right.
Vindication, nerds.
Okay, so Andy walks into school with Chucky for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and then bones out and goes to the subway
right,
and rides
just
the
chills
subway.
out. Nobody in Chicago cares that this 6-year-old is
He's
wandering.
6.
Sorry.
But he has a
Fucking
40-year-old
age
man in a doll's body telling him where
Right.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no
And
one's asking any questions on the subway.
Yeah. No.
Are they
and
wearing
that-
the same thing too? No, I think
No,
not.
they're wearing-
I don't remember, but
He's
you
wearing-
can't.
he's
wearing
if
a football
shirt.
If a child were maybe not in New York, but if a child is riding the subway in Chicago, like
That was one of the
people would-
things-
people would say something.
That was one of the things that I was blown away by in Japan. There are 6-year-olds riding the subway in Japan, and it freaked me out the first time I
Just
saw
by
it.
themselves?
By themselves.
Really?
Yeah, because Japan's a much safer place than America.
There are no
So-
guns.
Yeah, well, I mean that, and also just there are cameras
Or violence,
everywhere.
really. I
So
mean,
you
come
really
on.
can't attack someone or steal someone, or because there are cameras everywhere. So like their crime rates are just super low.
Should we just move to Japan?
Yes, we should. It's
move to
amazing, and
Japan.
Japanese women love white dudes.
So
There, I was
Jennifer's
still
just shit
on.
out of luck. How about the
I mean,
men
I'm
with
married,
the white
so-
women?
Yeah, she's married. She doesn't need.
Well, yeah, but
I'm going there for the safety.
Jenny don't need that Japanese D. Wow. Okay. It would be weird in America to see a 6-year-old child with
Yes.
a doll on a subway.
Yeah, and nobody might say anything on the actual subway, but like he's just wandering around town. Like he goes a long
Oh,
way.
he's walking
yeah,
by.
he goes to
and
the
he's
south
going
side
to
for
the
sure.
projects.
Yeah.
He's going
Yeah.
to like.
Well, he's technically
find
going to
Candyman.
the Fight Club house.
Yeah. Okay. So
Paper Street.
Yeah.
what is the Fight Club house again? Is that where he lived with the other guy at least for a little
No.
while? Like, weren't they living in that house or?
Well, have you not seen Fight Club?
No, not Fight Club.
Oh, that was their. I think maybe that's just Eddie Caputo's hideout or something.
Thank you, Charles and
Or maybe
Eddie.
that's where they were planning to meet after the heist.
Sure.
Okay.
Like meet in the creepy house with nothing around
but
it.
that is the Fight Club house.
It does look a lot like the Fight Club
It is.
house.
Was it clear to
Did
you
you
that he
confirm
was
that?
also was it clear to you that he was also a serial killer?
Who? Caputo?
Chucky.
They say it
He's
at
the
some point.
Lakeshore
He's the Lakeshore
Strangler.
yeah,
Strangler.
yeah. They
Okay.
said, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't remember if they even mentioned that or not.
There's
they
some
do.
backstory for that in the novelization. By the way.
There's a novelization
There's
of this.
novelization, yeah.
What?
Child's Play 2, sorry.
Is it written by Castle?
Maybe, I don't know. Apparently his first victim was his mother, and he was bullied, and he had an absent father. Absent father and abusive mother, and that's why he killed her.
They do start getting
Okay.
into his past
Get
the
that.
the later they get into the sequels.
Do they?
Okay.
And he comes back like playing himself in flashbacks and shit like that. So
Fair enough. So he goes to the.
Murder Shack.
Well, he goes to the Fight
Hideout.
Club house where Eddie is.
Paper Street. Eddie Caputo.
Eddie Caputo is, right?
Yeah.
So he's there where Eddie Caputo is, and then
Sleeping with his gun.
And then conveniently, Andy has to go take a piss. So
right
he
next
puts
to a rocking chair.
Right. So he puts Chucky down in a rocking chair. He goes to take a piss, and then he gets up. Chucky goes and breaks into the murder shack. Blows out the pilot light in the oven and then turns
Yeah.
the oven on and then
And then he
I
shoots
guess-
at Chucky, or does he shoot at Andy? Because for a minute I thought Andy was walking into the house.
Well, Andy is walking around
Andy
the house
goes
yelling
to
for Chucky.
take a tinkle.
yeah, okay, so that's what
And-
it is. So he hears like Chucky running around, but then he sees Andy too, so he thinks Andy might be Chucky. So he's like, "Oh, it's not Chucky, it's just some."
Well, right, he's doing the mindfuck thing. That
Right.
they
Yeah, what
all
does he
do.
eventually shoot at though? Because it's the shot that starts the explosion.
He shoots into the room. He fires into the kitchen that had the gas
Gotcha.
oven open.
But what was he
I do
shooting
not think
at?
that that would cause. Oh, that's a good point. I don't
Was
know.
he shoot? Okay, so was
He
it
heard
like?
some sort of loud noise, and so
Yeah.
he's
Well-
like, I'm just gonna fire into this room or whatever. Which
Or
is
maybe
stupid.
it's like Annie Potts, because we don't actually see Chucky holding the hammer. We just see her saying "ooh," and then she gets smacked with the hammer. So
yeah, it's
maybe
always
he
like right
sees
when they're
Chucky
about
and
to
we just
see
don't see it.
Chucky, they die.
Because that
Right.
way you could still think it's Andy if we haven't seen.
That's
Chucky
interesting
yet.
because we still have not seen
We've
Chucky
seen
talking.
hands.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I honestly don't think we see that reveal until the mom is about to throw him in the fire the first time. Yeah.
Because we do see him talk, but it could be Chucky. Like there's one point where the babysitter and Chucky like turns his head and looks when the light's on, but that could still be him just being a doll.
Yeah, I mean, it gets a little choppy just because they keep cutting back from somebody fucking with Eddie inside the house to Andy outside, kind of down the street a little bit. So it would have been, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a high tension type
but
cheat
still,
there.
So the gas is coming out of the stove, right?
Right.
And
So he
Eddie
fires
just
into that room,
but
and
he
this
shoots at
entire...
nothing.
He shoots at
I don't know
Chucky.
what he's shooting
He Oscar
at.
Pistoriuses into the kitchen and then
Maybe he
blows
didn't
up
have the safety on.
I don't know.
You guys don't get the Oscar Pistorius, do you?
No, I don't know.
He was some South African sprinter who killed his girlfriend in the bathroom.
Oh, Blade Runner?
Yeah. His defense was, I didn't know she was in there. I just heard noises, so I shot through the door.
Shot a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, he's in jail.
Oh, that's a sad story.
Well, I mean,
is he in jail?
I think he is. He should be if he's not, because he's a fucking liar. But yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think
editorial.
that. I do not think that firing a single bullet into
I don't know.
the.
I mean, I don't know. But it's the Fight Club house, and the house.
Is it because it blows up?
The house blows up the same way that in Fight Club his apartment blows up.
I don't remember
because the oven goes out. The pilot light in the oven goes out, blows up his apartment in the very beginning of Fight Club. I'm talking to the only two people who don't know Fight Club.
Apartment, Edward Norton.
What the fuck? Yes.
And that's why he lives on Paper Street.
Yes.
Boom. Okay.
Yes.
Do we ever see
Yes.
Edward Norton and Chucky in the same place?
No. What? Edward Norton is Chucky.
Yeah.
I thought Fight Club was that movie with Ice Cube and Charlie Day and their teachers and they fight.
What?
That's Gleaming the Cube.
Oh.
Remains of the Day.
Remains of the Day.
Clint, you're thinking of Dangerous Minds.
I love that movie. Let's watch Dangerous Minds.
Anything but horror movies would be great.
That Coolio video music.
Oh,
As
man,
I walk through the valley of a shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's
like
nothing left because I don't have the
If
rights to
somebody's
this
like,
song.
if somebody's
so
like,
we're
19,
gonna
if somebody's
get
like
sued
19
when
listening
we
to this
come along.
podcast, they're like, what the fuck
What are you talking
happening?
about? Yeah.
What?
The best with the version of the Weird Al Yankovic version.
Oh,
though,
yeah. As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize
Christ.
she's very plain. I know.
Today
I know.
I raise a barn, tomorrow I raise another.
Yeah, that's.
Whoop, whoop.
Anywho.
Oh, yeah.
All of
You
that was
cut
wrong.
that out.
I am not cutting anything out that makes you sound
So
like.
Eddie gets
Yeah, I
blown
gotta
to
play
bits.
Yeah, Eddie's dead. Eddie's dead.
Eddie's dead. The final nightmare.
Nailed it. Yeah. Do not steal my exhale. That is me. You steal all my fucking jokes. You steal all my jokes. I swear to God.
It's not stealing, it's mocking.
So the next thing we see
That's
is the
incredibly
mom
hurtful.
frantically. She shows up to the police station.
Yes, she does.
Clearly
Yeah.
what happened was somebody called the police.
Yeah. Well, because
And,
the fucking house blew up.
on the south side.
Like, hey, your kid never showed up to school today.
Yeah, but it was also like you and I were talking about how, like, in these movies, it's always like the two detectives are the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
detectives of the entire city. So he gets picked up on the south side,
You're
but
right.
he ends up in the same two detectives' office.
And they're questioning him without a chaperone.
Oh, so it's the main detective
do
and then porn stash detective.
80s.
This is when they commit Andy, right? They put him in insane jail, right?
Yeah, and you do have to give this movie props. That's what would really happen.
Yeah.
At
That's
that
true.
point, that's what would really...
Like-
Because in other movies, it's like the cops won't, call in a psychologist or anything.
I
They'll
think
just...
even just letting your kid wander all over the city would get your kid maybe put in some kind of
Or-
protective
Yep,
service.
she
Or-
was basically like, they are
Especially if
going
you're
to take you away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like-
She's like, you have to stop lying. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he punches Chucky a bunch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because
So
Chucky is hysterical.
What,
so he
so
shakes
what
him.
was the deal in this scene? Was it the psychologist was like looking through a two-way mirror or
Yes.
something, and he was
Yeah.
like, "I've
With
seen
a
enough."
microphone.
Yeah.
I'm just
We're gonna
recording
take
my
you some.
podcast, lady, but I have seen enough.
He was holding the mic up to his mouth right the right way, right?
He was.
But then he laughed at a joke and he took it away. And
He was like, ah.
all right,
Yeah.
That is not how she does it.
how I do it. You're the one that does it.
What?
You're the only one that
Oh,
doesn't
I thought we were
laugh
talking
at
about the
the mic.
laugh the evil laugh that you do at the end. I thought that's what he was doing. Yeah, no, I do
You
that
mean
because I
the
don't
evil
want
laugh?
to-
You mean the evil laugh that we do at the end?
I don't want to
doing
make
it?
people deaf by laughing into the mic.
Yeah.
My laugh is very, very loud. And
we wouldn't
contagious.
know.
I mean, Todd's
We've
already
never heard
blown
it.
their eardrums out, so
That's true, ladies.
Anywho.
So anyway, so they put Andy in kid jail.
Yeah.
With Dr. Death, or I think that's how they build him in the credits. I really do.
Dr. Death.
I think so
Yeah.
too. What? Because who else would be Dr. Death?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He was
seem like
unimportant.
Dr. Death to me. He
But
just
he
seems
but
like
he
doesn't
did
seem like
die,
a
and he
good
was a
doctor
doctor.
Sure.
either.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Death sounds like a horror movie in and of itself. This guy was
Yeah.
just trying to do his job.
Was he?
I think so. I mean, I do think so. Like, if you were like called in on a case, you were like,
in reality, if
Yeah,
one of your
that's true.
friends
If you were-
told you, "Hey, my doll's trying to kill me," you're like, "Well,
Let me see that doll.
we're not friends."
let me see that doll. Yeah, but like you would take that child away 100% of the time. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so mom, fuck.
Nobody knows her real name.
So yeah, whoever the mom
What is her name?
what is her real name?
Nobody
It
gives
really
a
is just Andy
I've
calling
got
him.
it. The actress's name?
Oh,
I don't
God,
know.
the
She's
Well,
like,
Catherine Hicks is
she's
the
80s mom.
actress's name.
There
Yeah.
are so many notes in that.
I know. And I don't
about
read any
this
of them.
movie.
Yeah, we got to get to the Notebook at the end, and I'm going to talk about some
We'll
box
see.
office.
You mean like Nicholas Sparks' Notebook?
I
wrote
do
you-
love that movie.
I wrote you every day for a year, Clint.
It still isn't over.
I'm about to cry.
that movie is
sad.
about Alzheimer's, guys.
What?
I don't know why you're just jumping. I
I'm
don't know
talking
why
about
you're
the
jumping back
non-Alzheimer's
to
part.
Happy Times. That movie is
It's
about
Ryan
Alzheimer's.
Gosling and James Marsden. Like if those are my choices, I'm having a pretty good day.
Hey,
Who-
have you
wait,
noticed? Have you noticed that James Marsden gets dumped in every movie?
He does.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the X-Men's, Superman.
Hey, can I just say
James
this?
Marsden.
Took a flight with James Marsden.
Really?
Him and his wife and his daughter. We were all waiting at the gate.
out.
I didn't even realize that it was him, but his daughter was playing with like a ball or something, and she dropped it and it rolled over and hit me in the foot. And he came over.
That's like a movie scene.
I know.
I mean, cute. Is that
And
how you met James Marsden?
you bend
cute?
over
I
and
swear
pick it
to-
up, and
no,
you
no, no,
look
no,
up,
no,
and
no.
it's James
I
Marsden.
didn't-
And like your glasses like go down a little bit.
If you sit back, baby birds, Daddy Bird will feed you. Just let me talk. So anyway,
Gross.
James Marsden goes over. I wasn't really paying attention. I was on a work flight and I was prepping on my laptop for something, and I felt the ball hit my foot, and then I saw a guy walking over. I was like, "Oh, get it!" And I look up as he's bending over, and it's James Marsden in my fucking face, and he goes, "Hey, sorry about that. My daughter dropped her ball," and I was like,
And I just dropped my ball.
"Oh no!" I said, "It's okay, Cyclops."
Oh, is that what you
You
said?
did not
Yes.
say Cyclops.
Really? What? He laughed and then he fried you with his eyeball laser?
No, he laughed and then sat. He was like 3 seats down from me, and then we talked for about 15 minutes until he boarded before us because they were first class. He was
So
super
this wasn't
nice.
a Southwest flight then.
No,
That's
he
why-
was super nice. He and his wife, super nice. They talked to me and my coworker Charles for 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
We were going to Chicago, but he didn't go to Chicago. He flew on somewhere. He told us where he was going, but I couldn't remember. But yeah, he lives here in
He's
town.
getting more work than ever.
He lives
nowadays.
in. He lives here.
He did then. A lot of stars live in Nashville or have homes here because we don't fuck with them.
That's true.
'Cause they
That's
can
like
go-
the Nashville thing. You don't.
They
mess
can go
with
out
them.
in the public here and they won't. Like, I see Jack White all the time at Five Guys.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
just
I
goes in
waited
there-
on Jerry Seinfeld, and he
Which
asked
Five
me
Guys?
what the soup of the day was, and
one
I
in
did
Brentwood.
not say no soup for you because I'm from Nashville.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have friends who have performed and written.
A
with
lot
him.
of famous people here. I've actually played with Aerosmith's bass player's son. He has a band here in town, and I played some stuff with
Todd
him.
used to be a musician because I don't think we talked about that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess you're always a musician. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He does sing a lot on the podcast.
yeah. I mean, although I wasn't a singer, I play drums. I'm not even a singer. Or am I?
that's a negative.
Okay, so Child's Play. Where were we?
Andy got
We're
thrown in
at-
kid jail.
right.
And
Yeah.
then, okay, mom takes the Chucky doll back to the apartment.
Yes,
Yes, that's
and
the
she
next
tries
thing.
to
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember, I could have sworn that was like way toward the end of the movie.
No.
It happens really quickly.
It
Well, I
does.
mean, we're
Yeah.
probably about 30 minutes, 35 minutes in.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, it's only a 90-minute movie, but we're still about, a third of the way through. Anyway, she's like shaking it like,
Yeah.
talk to me, you
Why are you
fucking...
ruining my
Oh,
life?
well,
Teddy
it's the
Ruxpin, the
batteries that
rip-off.
sets her off.
Oh, yeah, she sees that there's no
She finds the
batteries.
batteries in the
That's
pack, and
right.
she's
Okay,
like,
can I just say
dun,
this?
dun, dun.
Pretty dope for a toy to come with branded batteries.
Yeah. Do you know
I
that
don't-
the title was almost Batteries Not Included?
What?
But they knew that there was the Spielberg movie coming out, so they changed it to Child's Play.
But the batteries were included.
What
But
the
that's
fuck was
the-
batteries not included about? I
That's
don't
the
even
one with the
remember that.
robot
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie.
where they get locked in the freezer,
Really?
right?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a scary movie.
Todd
Okay.
has seen every movie that's not.
It's
a
like
scary movie.
E.T., but for
You
robots.
just, yeah, okay.
You had me.
You had me at 1001101.
Nice.
That's a binary joke, guys. Get
Oh,
it?
I got it.
All right. So
This
anyway,
is still my favorite scene in the movie when she's like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw you into the fire,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he's like, "You fucking bitch!"
Yeah.
and like bites her and like gets away and runs out, and then she starts chasing him because he runs
And he
into the
goes
elevator.
under the couch, and she like sticks her head down right there to look under the couch
yeah.
where this doll just bit her, just fell.
Just think if it were '88 and you were watching this in the theater and you had no idea about,
Yeah.
like Chucky sequels don't exist, like you don't know what's going to happen, and then like that would have been so amazing when he started talking.
I think it's on one of the AFI like 100 scariest movie moments list.
I'll say this:
Probably lower.
That
but-
moment I knew was going to happen because I know Chucky's. I know the
His
Chucky thing,
shtick.
right?
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to happen. It's just like the Independence Day story. I knew it was going to happen, but it still scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
There was a
okay,
pretty
okay,
good jump scare when she opens the battery, whatever, notices there aren't batteries, and he turns his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Tommy.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Todd
and I
shitting
feel
on the
like
couch.
anytime like you see Chucky, like Chucky is scary in this movie. You know, like he looks evil.
Dude,
and just
some
his
of the
face
faces
is
they
not
get-
scary
Yeah.
for quite some
Yeah.
time after this movie, not until the Netflix.
Do you guys ever
Chucky's.
hear about that Robert the Doll?
No.
Thing, the real doll that was like voodoo-y?
No.
There's a lore episode about it. It's creepy.
No.
But like he would wander around and they would hear him like talking to his kid, and this is a real doll.
No.
No, you don't care.
This sounds like clever marketing for a shitty horror movie.
Or a shitty horror podcast.
We killed a priest. And
Todd's been listening to these episodes a lot.
I really have. Like, I get all of my inside jokes.
from previous podcasts?
yeah. Anyway, she tries to burn him,
Yeah.
or threatens to burn him.
But then
threatens
she
to burn him,
throws him
yeah, and
under
then
the
she-
couch instead of throwing him on the fire that she already lit.
Well, he's
Yeah.
motherfucking bitter. Like, he just got trying to get rid of. You making fun of my voice right now?
Yeah. And nothing really happens after that, right? He just kind of runs out and gets on the elevator.
He does.
Yeah,
Rides
he
the
gets
elevator
on the
down,
L train
which
and
he
pieces
really
out.
does love the elevator. Call back to that later. And she runs down with no bra.
All
Anyway,
right.
so she.
Todd's single, guys.
I am single, lady.
I mean, ladies,
Ladies.
not guys.
Ladies.
Either way, really. I mean,
Well, I
doesn't matter.
mean, he is
There you go.
It's been this long and it hasn't worked out with a female yet. I do like
So I'm
musicals.
open.
I
you know?
am single, guys.
I am single.
Everyone.
Non-binary genders.
One. One. Boom. That's what he's saying.
Seriously, only ladies though. I don't do the dick. So anyway, he runs away and then it ends, right?
Yeah, that's the end of
The
the movie.
scene
movie
ends,
ends.
not the movie ends. To be continued.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and,
She
but that's
goes
when
to
she
find the
believes-
cop.
She
Yeah,
goes to
right.
find
And
Chris Sarandon.
the cop is like, "Good night." I thought that was a great line.
That was
Yeah.
great.
She like gets this like big
Like, you're
monologue, and he's
crazy.
like, "Good night."
Chucky's alive. The doll's alive.
He bit
good
me,
night.
look.
Good night, crazy lady.
Clearly bit yourself.
Right.
Yep.
And then she's like, "You don't like loose ends," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Whatever, I'm gonna drive away." And then, but then he goes to
But
the
she
police
thinks
station.
that's going to get to his heart because that was the line he tried to. No, that's when Chucky's behind him and like tries to get him with
No.
the
That's
jump
that's
thing.
later. That's after he goes back to get the police file, right?
Oh, yeah,
she's
she
actually
doesn't
trying to
like
find
loose
the
ends.
doll for some reason, right? Because
Well, no, she goes off to talk to
She- to
the
a
back
homeless
alley
person.
peddler or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
he comes and
Toothy
saves the day
peddler?
when he tries to rape her.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Me too. Right, it was a Me Too moment right there.
Dude, yeah. He's like, that's not enough to pay me.
That was the scare. Yeah,
You got
she's just
anything
going
else?
around asking homeless people,
Yeah.
and she's like wearing very nice clothes. She
He
has this
seems to be
nice-
the only
nice
homeless
coat on.
person that's like
Rapey?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the other homeless people just wanted to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that they were kind of
Yeah.
closing in on her when he was.
They were.
Okay.
They were going to back him up and
Yeah.
then take their turn later.
And then he shows up and pulls a gun, and everybody runs
And everybody
away.
just
Yeah,
scatters.
that doesn't
Which,
happen.
yeah, because
In
everyone there
reality, they
also
all
has
have
a
guns.
gun. Yeah.
Back in the 80s, not everyone had guns.
Right.
Listeners.
So anyway, that's when he takes her home, and then he goes back to the police
Yes.
station
And gets the file because he
Right.
really doesn't like loose ends.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, he still doesn't believe her at that point. He goes back
Right.
to get her file, to get his file, Carly Rae
I think there's a
Jepsen or
small
whatever
part of him that does.
whatever Chucky's name
Carly
is.
Rae Jackson. Okay, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Jepsen. It's Charlie Rae Jepsen.
It's Friday.
No, that's not the right person.
That's not.
No,
Who's Carly Rae Jepsen?
Carly Rae Jepsen does the. So here's my number.
Oh,
so
yeah.
call me maybe. Fucking love that song.
Okay, so anyways, his real name is Charles Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray, yeah.
Do you know where those come from?
They are three famous murderers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Clint?
I knew that.
Probably at one point.
It's Charles Manson,
Yep.
Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray.
So it's not three famous murderers. It's two famous murderers and a fucking idiot who convinced people to murder for him.
Yes. He may have actually murdered somebody, though.
He didn't.
Oh, yeah. You were there?
You don't want to know. Helter skelter, bitches.
Dude.
Dude, I don't know, man. Marilyn Manson is like,
Charles Manson?
well, yeah. Not Marilyn Manson.
I was gonna let him roll with it, but
Charles
See where
Manson
it's
is like he's like a cult leader. He's not like
Yeah, he is a
he's
cult
not
leader.
he's not a murderer per se, but he's just as bad.
I mean, he may have murdered
You're so
him.
judgy.
No, I guess you
Yeah.
might be right there. But he didn't like commit the Sharon Tate murders.
Yeah, he was
right?
not there for the Tate LaBianca murders.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, have y'all heard about that Tarantino movie coming out?
I don't like Quentin Tarantino.
I don't either.
He's the fucking worst.
Yeah, I was out after
Hateful
What's wrong
Eight.
with you people.
The
I didn't see
Hateful
that.
Eight
No,
is
I
did
was
not
out
like
such
at
a
it, but
bad
Django.
I
fucking
love
movie.
every other Tarantino movie.
Dude, Django.
Name 16 Tarantino movies you like.
They don't.
I know, there's
he
only
doesn't- What the? You're trying to trick me.
I liked
I don't like any of them.
I liked
Reservoir Dogs is
you don't
okay.
like violence,
Yeah, I don't like gratuitous, awful
except
violence.
for
that-
every horror movie.
I liked Pulp Fiction.
that's true.
I liked Reservoir Dogs. I liked the Nazi movie.
Yeah, I did like that one, Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious
he doesn't
Basterds.
like Nazis. He
That's
likes
my
the Nazi
favorite is.
movie.
That's all. I haven't liked any of it.
You didn't like Django Unchained?
Inglourious Basterds.
No,
is the only one I
Django
like.
Unchained is a really stupid movie.
And it's horrible. I was
Yeah.
like in my seat making noises and like covering my eyes so
The
I didn't
scene-
have to hear the part.
The scene where Jen goes at the top of the steps and shoots a lady, and then her body goes the opposite direction that
That
it
was the
should have
best.
gotten. It's fucking stupid. It's
I love that
so
movie.
it's so
I hate
bad.
that movie.
Sorry.
Tarantino is I fucking don't like him. Very
Yeah,
much.
I don't either. So
Anyway,
I'm nervous
whatever.
about this. Okay, this is
Both of you are
totally
wrong.
different thing.
He's like
Getting
Wes
that on
Anderson.
record.
People love him.
He is not
Or
like
is it
Wes Anderson.
P.T. Anderson?
Tarantino's movies make money.
Yeah, who keeps giving Wes Anderson money?
If you're switching it to that, yes, I agree. Yeah, I do not like either of the Andersons.
You don't like Paul Thomas Anderson?
I do not.
I like No Blood for Old Men. No Country for Old
No
Men.
Blood
No,
for Old
I don't like
no,
that
not that movie. Not that
You're
movie.
getting
That was
all,
There
all-
Will Be Blood.
There Will Be
You're getting a
Blood.
lot of
There Will be
people
blood.
confused here.
No Blood
You're
for Old
taking
Men.
all the art house directors and just.
Weren't they
I
the
am.
same year though?
Nobody
Weren't they
knows.
both?
But I liked.
Nobody knows. There's no way.
There's no way to tell. I liked.
What movies? No
It's a
Country
mystery
and
for the
what?
ages.
Okay, back to Child's Play. Directed by the Coen brothers, apparently.
No, it's directed by Tom Holland, who also directed Fright Night,
And is also Spider-Man.
and he's I don't think he's Spider-Man.
No, that's the actor's name
And
who
even
plays
if you
Spider-Man.
were, you're not supposed to tell that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
they had that
he
agreement
outed
on the
himself
subway, right?
in the-
I didn't
You're not supposed
out
to
him.
tell.
Oh,
Just-
good God. I don't know what's happening anymore.
We're like.
And I'm a Marvel fan.
Right. Spider-Man 2, when he takes his mask off
Oh,
and
you're
everybody
still
on
on the Tobey
subway.
Maguire Spider-Mans. Those don't exist
Those are the only
anymore.
ones I saw.
What?
Ooh, I have a life.
Well, that's just incredibly hurtful to
Oh, I'm
Clint and
sorry.
me.
Jesus.
Because we are single ladies. So the cop comes out. He comes out of the police station with the file for
Because
Chucky.
he doesn't like loose ends.
And,
Right.
And he starts driving away, probably to his place or whatever, to go over the file.
Yeah.
And then Chucky the doll throws the jumper cables around his neck and starts strangling him.
Yeah, and like driving the car, and then sticks a bunch of knives through the seat. And
That's
then
a
tries
really
to, like,
great sequence.
I
It
liked
really
it. I liked
was,
it.
yeah.
Well, I liked that he used the cigarette thing to like burn Chucky's
Yep.
face, and that's what gets him to stop choking him.
Yeah.
And then that's when the knife starts coming through the seat, and then up
Yeah.
through the seat, trying
and
to get him
how
in
is
the.
he still in the seat and hasn't gotten stabbed too?
I don't know. I thought he got nicked. Maybe.
I mean,
He
I'm
gets
sure-
nicked at
Maybe
the
I'm
end,
making
and
that
it
up, but-
incapacitates him.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure
I don't
that.
think he got nicked. In
Yeah,
this
I'm sure
car.
that gooch is full of holes. Like he got stabbed in the taint a bunch.
Yeah.
But he hits a fire barrel. The car flips over.
Hits a
Yes.
mailbox.
And I thought that sequence was cool too.
I
when
thought
he
it was
has
cool.
to shoot at
Yeah.
Chucky.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give this movie that. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty dumb movie. I
Yeah.
think
It's
there's
clever.
some.
I think it's clever.
It is, but the horror sequences and the action sequences are legit.
Very
Like,
well
I was
done.
kind of scary. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still a doll. So like it is. I see why
Right.
you have
Well,
issues.
yeah,
but
but
yeah.
they do a really good job at,
It is well done.
He really only
Yeah.
has two things working for him: the element of surprise,
Yes.
or fighting a child because
Right.
of
His
his
favorite
size.
element.
Right.
So, and that's why he gets defeated at the end, because there are parts at the end where like the cop just throws him across the room.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so unless he
Yeah.
can creep up on you,
Yeah.
that's all
Which
you
he's
got.
pretty
but-
good at. We've
Or
seen
you
him
are
he's
a
good at it.
6-year-old.
Yeah.
He's got that.
Or you're a stupid 6-year-old who can't even fucking make breakfast for somebody.
I mean, how's he supposed to defeat evil?
Stupid idiot.
So he shoots Chucky kind of like in the shoulder.
Yeah,
it is
it's a
the
flesh
shoulder.
one.
And he's shocked that he's bleeding, and,
And then
he
he gets
kind of runs away or something. Or is
No,
there's
he
another-
does. Chucky
He
runs away.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then the next scene is like the cop and the mom, and they're talking about like they're going through the file. That's when they find the voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
Because they go to his house.
And all
they
the
both
naked
meet
people
up.
all over the wall.
Yeah, they both meet up at his house because she goes independently of
Yeah.
the cop, and the cop
And
shows
she can
up
just
there.
wander in there and it's okay.
Well, yeah, because she's like, I don't give a fuck about police tape. I'm the mom.
Right.
So the cop they meet there, and then they're like, oh, we got to find this voodoo guy. And
Yeah, that's
Chucky's
on the
already
wall.
there. Right. So it cuts to Chucky, who's already at the voodoo guy's place. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, I thought I couldn't get hurt. Why
Yeah.
was I bleeding? And the voodoo guy goes, it's because you're becoming more and more human
Yeah.
the longer and longer
But
you're
you're
in
an
that body.
abomination.
Yeah.
Here's what's weird. Like, he's a voodoo priest. Like, wouldn't
Yeah.
he think, hey, this is kind of cool. This is proving all this stuff that I always tell everybody.
I don't think
You
so.
could get Chucky to work for you.
because he's an abomination.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually spending a lot of time with that guy,
Yeah.
not just studying
Right.
his. Yeah, and so it was weird that he didn't know who he was hanging out with.
Exactly. Like, if you're friends
It was
with that
weird.
serial killer, like, you've
Yeah,
got
it's a
some
little strange.
darkness in your soul. Also, if you're a voodoo priest,
Maybe he didn't know until he watched
Well,
the
voodoo,
news.
maybe
voodoo,
he didn't quite realize what he was getting into. Are you going to say Pazuzu?
No.
Pazuki.
Pazuzu. No, this is not Pazuzu. But correct me if I'm wrong, but voodoo is a combination of like
Christianity
and like a pagan religion that was brought up from the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, as a voodoo, as a voodoo, wow, as a voodoo priest, I think the Christian side of him would be like, oh, you're devilish looking, you should not exist. So I sort of understood why the voodoo priest was like anti-Chucky. And when he tells Chucky after that scene where he breaks,
I love this scene.
So anyway,
this scene is the tits.
Chucky, yeah, it is both the left and the right. So Chucky finds the voodoo priest's voodoo doll, which if you're a voodoo priest, don't make your own voodoo doll. That's the weirdest thing, except for like if you want to like give yourself the best stranger ever, there's no reason.
No, because then you can make lady voodoo dolls and then, you know, like have a puppet show.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
That's what I would do.
Puppet show.
That's what you call it.
It's the first thing that went to your mind.
Good. No. So anyway, so Chucky breaks the leg first, right?
Yeah.
And
I think so, yeah.
They show it.
The leg.
It is the
best. It is the
and then
best.
breaks the arm.
To get him a body bag.
Yeah.
That's a scene that I just never forgot. Like I watched
it was pretty
when
good.
I was young.
But
You were like cheering when that happened. You're like, yeah!
Any kind of
I was over
like
the couch like,
bravo.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like that's the first, and I don't want to say only time, because there are a lot of horror movies out there, but like this is the first time something like that had been done where somebody fucks with a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
I fucking hated it.
It was awesome.
I'll admit that it was cool, but it was unsettling.
It's painful to watch, but I love it.
So he breaks his arm, and then the voodoo guy finally breaks it and tells him how to transfer his consciousness into Andy.
Yeah.
Because Andy is the first person he revealed himself to, and that's part of it. So it's the first person you reveal your true self to. You can then go into their body. Yeah.
You figured you would maybe spare this guy and just take the doll with you and be like, I might need you again. I'll be back with the doll, with the voodoo doll.
Yeah, but he does.
Maybe
we'll stabs him in the heart.
Stabs him in the heart because he's an evil bastard.
Which, I mean, the voodoo doll's the guy's got to know he's going to kill him.
Right.
That's so stupid. Why do you reveal that information?
Yeah.
Just make up.
He did
you
have
could
an
just
arm
lie to him.
Right.
All the voodoo shit, just like
know.
say whatever.
Well,
and even if he
spin
kills
around
you,
3 times and hop backwards.
In truth, he may have lied. We don't know.
That's true.
well,
Spoiler alert.
Ooh, is that what 3 is about?
No, 3 is
about a military academy.
So bad.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
You know, it actually follows Andy for a while, so he's in 2, and then they sort of age. He's like a teenager in 3.
Yeah,
and now he is an adult and still in the Chucky movie.
It's so bad. So anyway, Chucky leaves.
Incorrect.
The cop and mom show up at Voodoo Guy's place.
Yeah, and they find
him dead.
Just one step behind him.
Yeah. Well, and this is where Chucky goes to kid jail.
Yeah.
To psycho kid jail.
Like lumbering up the steps.
Psycho kill jail.
Yeah, he keeps looking out the window, and Chucky's like running up the steps, which were kind of like miniature steps made for somebody short. It was really weird.
Well, he had a hard time with them.
He did have a hard time, but the person
he had to hold on to the rail.
You got to think about that. The person who's actually in that Chucky suit is like,
okay.
What do you want to say, Todd?
We're just waiting for you to finish. No, can't finish.
Do it.
Having some problems finishing.
Not with the recording.
Right.
I mean, it's a little person.
They used a combination of little people, puppets, and child actors. And one of the child actors was actually Andy's little sister.
Okay.
So, that was actually interesting.
Anyway, it's clear that they're having trouble getting up the steps.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it wasn't
like
Andy's
he's got
sister.
quite a bit of time to figure out his plan.
Yeah.
This scene is actually sad because he starts crying, and he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He's like, Chucky's
I turned to you and I was like,
me.
this kid's a decent actor.
Yeah.
Like
for a 6-year-old.
I felt for him. I was like,
not so much in adulthood, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back
okay.
in the day, he was better. I guess he's not bad today. It's been a while since I've watched.
It's sad if you peak at 6.
I mean, but think about the direction in that scene. I'm sure they're just like, pretend like somebody's coming to kill you, or maybe they would actually tell him Chucky is coming to kill you.
Yeah.
Because
maybe
kids are dumb.
Wow. I mean, they are.
You said that earlier.
Not all kids.
Yeah. Kids are dumb.
Not Jennifer's kids, though.
No, I mean,
they're smart.
Evil genius.
When my niece and nephew were younger, my sister would be like, "Hey, your nephew just learned how to tie his shoes." I'd be like, "I can tie my shoes. Kids are dumb.
They're stupid."
I can never
I
have
learned this
kids.
37 years ago.
I used to do that to my younger
old.
cousins. I just tell them, "Hey, somebody's coming to kill you," and they would just start crying because I'm a sick motherfucker.
Would you really do that? Why the fuck?
I don't think I would do that. I remember playing horrible pranks on them. Like I would tell them, like, your parents aren't coming back, and just watch.
What? Why are you laughing?
I thought that was funny. I mean, it's not funny now that I'm an adult, but like when I was like 12 and a little sociopath, before I killed my first pet, I was.
What is happening?
I feel like we're going to have to save this for the police.
How much? Yeah. How much of this is true? Did you kill your first pet?
No, I didn't kill my first pet. I killed my second pet.
What?
Guys, come on.
God,
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
Settle down.
Holy
Settle
shit.
down.
That went.
Is this Pet Cemetery?
We're going to cut that out, right?
No.
Guys.
No.
All right, so this doll just sneaks into the hospital and nobody's paying attention, and he just like walks up and grabs the keys off the table.
Yeah, what kind of guard doesn't leave the keys in his goddamn pocket?
How does nobody see a doll walking around just opening doors?
I know, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck
What
is
kind
wrong?
of security is this?
Idiots.
So, anyways,
Security
he breaks
guards
in.
aren't educated.
Yeah.
No.
It's
It's clearly the same security guards from fucking Freddy versus Jason.
You're right. Yeah,
Same
in that
facility.
institution. So, anyways, he gets in there, and there's like the blanket. Andy's in bed with the blankets pulled over him, and
Andy pulled a fast one, man. I was
he
proud
did.
of him.
He almost fooled Todd.
What? He didn't fool me. I said he was a fake Andy.
Yeah, Andy's been dead the whole time.
Andy's been dead the whole time.
So anyway, Andy like pieces out, and then what happens?
Well, did we gloss over the doctor death?
No, because that hasn't happened
That
yet.
happens
Oh,
right
that
then.
Because
Yeah.
he goes
okay.
into the creepy procedure room,
Yeah,
and then
like what's happening
Chucky's
in
chasing
there.
him. Yeah,
It's
for
weird.
real. And that's when I was like, okay, this kid is a 6-year-old actor, because he's like looking around all startled and like bumping into all those
Oh,
like,
yeah.
things.
He falls over every piece of medical equipment
right,
in the
because
fucking
he's
room.
walking backwards. Andy's sick.
Well, yeah.
Anyways.
And he has a scalpel in his hand,
Yeah.
and he's tripping over medical equipment. I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Why would you
This
even
is gonna
let
be
a
bad
child
news.
act this?
Right.
Yeah. This is why the actor in real life has one eye.
Does he really have one?
No, no.
Like
no,
Thor?
No.
Thor has one eye.
Oh my God.
You're behind.
Yeah, you're right.
Not Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
whatever.
Hemsworth is fine.
Okay, good.
They give him.
Is his hair okay?
They actually,
fine.
Well, his hair is not okay because they cut it.
Well, no, she likes short hair.
I like short hair.
Oh, you
for
like
sure.
the short hair?
Yeah. Thank you for listening to me, Todd.
God.
I do not remember.
So that's
Okay.
when the doctor comes in, takes the scalpel
Dr.
out of his
Death.
hand. Yeah.
And
Takes
tries
his-
to like take all his clothes off so he can like, I guess, put a sedative in his arm
Yes.
or something.
Yes. And
But
that
it
scene
looks-
is very unsettling for me because it looks like he's trying to rape that
It
child.
does. And
Yeah,
his,
He's
yeah.
definitely
trying to strip the child, right?
yeah.
I'm like, ugh,
Inject
this
him
is-
with something, and
This is,
Yeah.
ooh,
You need
and
to have a
then
nurse
the,
in that room.
that hot beef injection.
So he.
That's what it looked like he was trying to do.
Yeah. What is?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
What happens here? Does
Chucky comes up and
cut his
stabs him.
leg or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
Okay.
Chucky
Stabs him in the
Pet
leg.
Cemetery's him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then Andy runs out of the room, and then Chucky finishes the job.
Yeah,
Chucky
with-
puts on what would you call them?
Shock therapy.
Shock
Yeah.
therapy,
Yeah, shock-
whatever, on his head, and this was pretty brutal too.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought they were going to cut away from this, and they did
They
not.
did not, yeah.
So you see the blood just sort of like.
They do cut, but then they cut back. Like,
Oh yeah, they cut away just to show Andy running away and stuff like that.
yeah,
but,
and so they
oh, no,
can sub
Andy,
out the blackface, not the blackface guy, the burned face guy.
Racist.
Yeah,
that's
cut
sort of-
that out.
I mean, he gets darker. He gets like burned.
Yeah,
face.
his face is
burned.
burned.
Face.
That's
Not,
why I said burned face the second time.
Well, don't say the second time because I was going
I'm
to cut
sorry.
it out.
That's why I said burned face the first time, and everybody laughed because it was awesome.
Now I'm just leaving.
Nailed it.
Just going to leave everything in. Why do you copy me?
Then
I
they
thought you
all
were
just
gonna
go
fall asleep.
home. They go back to the apartment because the kid knows how to get back to the
Oh
apartment.
right,
Chucky
Gene
knows
had
where they are.
said if
They
he's
had,
ever
like,
in
their-
trouble, he knows to
Yeah,
go
they're
home.
safe
And
So
apparently
they
he
go
has a homing beacon. He can
Yeah,
always
how the
find
fuck
his
does
way
he find
home.
his
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Google Maps.
Google Maps, man.
I don't know how I found anything in the world before Google Maps.
Ditto.
So then they meet back up at the apartment.
Okay, so
Check
here's
it out
my
again.
favorite comedic moment in the movie when he's on the elevator.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
like
so
puts himself
funny.
on the elevator,
Yeah.
and he's lifeless at this point, but he's like sitting in the corner.
It's
and
like an old
it's like this
couple.
old lady. They're like, "What an ugly doll!"
Yeah.
And on the way up, he's like, "Fuck you."
That is pretty great.
And Todd said that right before
I
he
did.
said it too.
I was like,
I'll
fuck
give you that one.
And then, I mean, I've never
Yeah.
seen this movie, but
You
yeah.
think like Chucky.
Yeah.
You think like a serial killer.
Heck yeah.
Good to know.
How you doing, ladies?
Child's
Says
Play.
the guy who literally just said, I would tell kids all the time.
Well, we were going to cut that out, but thanks for
Exactly.
bringing that
I am
back.
not cutting it out.
As you know, because you've seen Child's Play 3,
Yes.
he takes up the comedy and cusses a lot more in the sequels and shit like that.
I mean, there's a little bit of that in here.
There is.
you know?
Yeah.
Knowing where 3 ends up, I like that they sort of hinted at that in these. Because these are scarier. This one's scarier than
The
It feels
second
like the
one is
attempt
the
is to
same
make it
tone as
scary.
this one. It's
Is it?
very serious. He cracks a couple of jokes, but one of my all-time favorite like horror lines is in the second one.
Oh,
Like a
really?
joke he cracks. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Watch out.
So anyway, this is where they finally kill Chucky. So it's like it's like a big fight. Mom throws him in the.
Well, no,
this goes on for a good
Andy
15,
out.
20 minutes.
This is a long scene.
Andy's hiding in the closet. He finds his baseball bat, and then Chucky gets him somehow, and then knocks him with the bat. He's about to like implant his soul, and then the mom comes in and like just picks him up and throws him across the room because he's a fucking doll.
And then the cop comes. The cop's with her, right?
Yeah.
So the cop is fighting him, and the cop gets stabbed in the leg, and
then it's just done.
He is
like,
incapacitated.
I'm sorry, I've got a flesh wound. I'm out.
It's almost like they only had that actor for like one day of shooting that fight scene. It was like a 5-day shoot. So they were like, well, we're going to put you in a different room by yourself. We're going to stab you in the leg and knock you out, and you're just going to stay in here.
Small scratch, completely useless. Although Chucky does come back and hit him with a bat over the head.
Yeah, he knocks him
gets
out.
knocked
But
unconscious.
it's like a tiny bat.
Yeah, and then he regains consciousness. Like, and
he's
while
like,
all this is going on, he's like screaming from the other room.
Yeah, he's like Peter Griffin when he stumbles his knee. He's like,
Peter Griffin.
Yeah. So the mom has to do all the work because the man is just like laying around somewhere.
Right. So she throws him in the fire, holds him with, I don't know what those fire guards are called, but holds him in place. Fire screen,
Fire,
Fire.
Thank you.
A screen.
I like
screen.
I like how Clint chimed in saying like he knew what it was, but didn't.
But then just
The
said
fire
exactly what
thing,
Todd had
I did
said.
not. I was going to say fire poker, and I'm like, no, that is the...
I almost said fire poker too.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's, Andy has his like big moment right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
he
she
said-
is holding him back on the screen, and he's going crazy behind
Help
her.
me,
Like,
Andy, help me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
get
how
the
he was
matches.
kind of just standing there watching shit go down.
I mean, he's 6.
Another useless man.
And I was thinking too, though, like if I'm the mom, do I want him to come over here and help me because then he might get killed, or do I want to just say run away? Because there's a cop in the other room who's not doing shit.
Yeah, maybe like go get the cop's gun. There's an idea.
No,
Well, she has to
don't
hold
send
the-
a 6-year-old to get a cop's gun.
Well, that's true. That's true. But
Anyways, it works out okay.
Yeah.
It turns out okay.
So Andy comes over, and then Chucky is like, we're friends till the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And he
And
goes,
he's
we're not
like-
friends.
He's
And
like,
this is the end.
the friend. The God. damn
This
it.
is the friend end.
We are in the friend zone.
Chucky says, "Friends to the end," right? And he
Yeah.
says, "This is the end, friend."
And you're not my
then lights
friend.
him on fire.
I think he says,
And
you're
this is
not
the
my
end.
friend, and this is the
That is
end.
I think so
incorrect.
too.
You can look it up. This is the end, friend. Google it.
I
Anywho.
feel like we just could.
All right,
Google
someone's
it.
got to tweet at us and tell us what's right. Anyway, so
Incorrect.
So they
I'm
light
always
up, they
right.
light him on fire, and we
Yeah.
know already that the only way for him to die is to get shot through the heart. 'cause
Yeah, but
Voodoo
they don't
Man
know
told him
that.
that.
The mother
right.
knows
no,
this.
They
So-
know that because Voodoo Man told
Oh,
him
that's
that.
right. Yeah. But they think maybe if you burn his heart.
Right.
She somehow didn't share that information with anybody else, like her cop friend.
Did she not tell the cop? Oh, that's
don't
right,
think
because
so,
she was
no.
like hovering over him, getting her coat all bloody and like whispering.
Yeah.
So they think he's toast. Like
Yeah.
he's in the,
Like the burn toast
So
at the beginning.
I was about to say the
Callback.
callback. Yeah, so that's
So
a
they
callback.
dump a bunch of butter on him. Here
Just
you go,
scoop
Mom.
sugar onto him.
Right. Pour some sugar. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
I mean, I do love me some Def
I saw Def Leppard live, and it was an amazing show.
So did I.
Oh my God, have you ever needed someone so bad? It's like my favorite song.
So at this point, the little bitch cop is like screaming, like, "I need help!" Blah blah blah.
I got stabbed in the leg.
I got scratched on the
By,
leg,
like, a
and they go
plastic
back
toy
in,
knife.
and then Chucky, what does he do? Does he?
Well, he's catching on fire, and
No,
he's
There's
caught
like a
on fire.
hallway sequence,
no, okay,
right?
he caught on fire, and
Right.
then and everybody thinks that it's over, and they walk away, and they go try to like get him, but then
Right.
he's gone. Dun, dun, dun. When
Right.
he goes to get the first aid kit,
Oh,
he
that's
notices
right.
that he's gone.
When
Okay.
Andy goes to get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. God, and then what?
And then he
happens?
appears again in the hallway.
And that's when the
then
mom
that's
shoots
when the
his
mom
head off.
Yeah.
Shoots
Shoots
his
his
arm off.
leg
Shoots
off,
his leg
arm off. Yeah, she
Yeah.
cannot aim.
Maybe she doesn't know
And
what
so
fire
then they're
was.
like, well, now he's dead. And then the partner shows up. For some reason, he shows up by himself.
Porn stash. Yeah.
Right? Like, porn stash shows up before the rest of them. He's like ahead of the rest of them.
He does, yeah. Well, because he's the main cop's partner.
He's the partner, yeah.
Right? And so he's like,
But
don't.
he's never with that guy.
I know, he's busy. He's acting in porn,
Right.
clearly.
Yeah.
So in between porn shoots, porn stash comes over. The main cop is like, don't touch the doll. So
Yeah.
like the
So that's the first thing he does.
The first thing porn stash does is go pick up Chucky's head and bring it into the room, put it on top of the TV and start smacking it.
Yeah.
And then Chucky
Like
pops
that
out
head.
through the air conditioning vent and starts choking
Oh, that's
him.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then throws him across the room and,
And
they
then
shoot
finally
him.
the mom
The
is
mom
like,
shoots him to the
yeah,
heart.
I thought that was a cool
No,
scene.
Chris Sarandon shoots him through the heart.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shoots him to the heart, and then that is the end of Chucky, at least. Or is it?
Yeah.
It is not.
Well,
you
for
see
that
the
movie.
opening of the second one there up on the screen because we're on
Yeah.
YouTube and
That's kinda
yeah.
creepy.
So they're really stupid how he keeps coming back. It's like
Yeah.
I think the opening of 2 is like they take the charred version and they're like, well, this is a waste of plastic. We're just going to make a new doll out of this, and then they
Really?
What?
Really?
And the second, and and then the end of the going
It's a
into
waste
the
of good plastic.
well, the end of the second one ends in
Plastic's
like a
very rare
Chucky
here.
factory, which is really cool. So they're like a whole bunch of them. His blood ends up getting into like the melted, like the liquid plastic,
The
and
liquid
that's how he
lava?
comes.
Yeah.
That's
and then
how
he turns into the T-1000.
Yeah, that's how he comes back in the third one.
Oh.
Yeah. But he's still after Andy. It's like this. The same rules still apply. He's like, I still have to chase
still have to
after
get
this
that one
one
kid.
kid, and so wherever he is, he has to like follow him for a
I
while.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
You're like, you got.
I get
You
it.
got it.
I get
Not
it.
that
You
complicated.
got it.
So, but that's more or less the end of the
Yeah.
movie,
And then
right?
they
That's the end of
freeze
the
frame on
movie.
Andy just looking sad and creepy.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you have in the black book for us today?
I've got it's brown, and I've got
Is it?
yes.
It totally still looks black from here,
All
but
right.
Honestly, one side looks black, one side looks brown to me.
Because you don't see color.
I don't see color.
that's sad.
I don't.
You have to cut that out.
I'm not colorblind.
Yeah.
I'm not
You gotta make
racist,
fun of
Clint.
colorblind.
I have some interesting facts about it. Did you know John Lithgow was originally going to be the voice of Chucky?
What?
I did not.
Yeah.
That would have been
would've been-
creepy too,
Would've
but it
been
would have been.
interesting, yeah.
very,
John Lithgow is great.
Dude, yeah.
There's no Brad Dourif though.
Yeah.
I think-
Brad
it
Dourif's the
would have
fucking
been
man.
different. Very different.
I think the gas station attendant from Urban Legend did a good job in this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Finally getting some work.
Yeah, finally getting some work.
Don Mancini gave an interview with Bloody Disgusting where he talked about all the different things he wanted to do with the franchise. Because you said he'd stayed with it the whole time, right?
Yeah, Don Mancini eventually bought the rights himself, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a production company, and that is his life. He makes Chucky movies.
Really? Well,
yeah.
I mean,
so he
doing
makes
pretty
one. He
well.
directs them now too.
Does he?
But he directs them, and then he goes off and writes a new screenplay for like 3 years, and then comes back, and yeah,
I mean, that
yeah, he
sounds
does it
pretty
everything.
good to me. So he had an idea for Chucky on a train, and Chucky is like befriending a kid, and there's an old lady that knows that Chucky is really alive, but nobody believes her because she's old. He also thought about having like a Chucky versus Annabelle spinoff because I think they're both part of the same studio, so they wouldn't have to deal with rights.
Their same doll universe.
They're both like
I don't know what Annabelle is.
That's
You know what
interesting. They
Annabelle
were
is?
for a little while. I don't know if Universal still.
Annabelle
has
is a real
That's
doll.
another thing you guys can tweet us
Okay.
about, like who owns
It's in the Conjuring universe,
Okay.
but it's
Universal
a real thing.
might distribute
I don't
still.
know.
I don't know.
You
But
know about
yeah,
that
he used to
stuff.
be a part of Universal.
Right. Well, okay, because he had an idea for Chucky on Elm Street, and he was going to have them like hook up or get together and like try to kill people, but then they realized that Elm Street's not big enough for the both of them, so they have this contest where whoever kills the most teenagers before dawn gets to stay on Elm Street.
That would actually be a lot of fun.
Right, exactly. But I don't think they could do it because of the rights, because of who owns the rights
Okay.
to those characters, and that's why he was talking about Annabelle, and she's a doll too. So
Yeah, the Annabelle movies are. The first one was dog shit. The second one was actually.
second one was good.
decent.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like the Ouija movies too. I liked the second one.
Same thing.
Didn't
yeah.
see the first one.
Yeah, I could be. No, I am wrong. Never mind. I was going to say it was the same filmmaker that did those sequels for both of them.
It's
but
the
I don't
same.
think
It's
so.
all Blumhouse, isn't it?
I don't know.
I know Conjuring is, right?
Annabelle, I believe, is
James Wan's-
Warner Brothers.
I
Yeah,
don't
because they own the Conjuring franchise. And we have The Nun coming out
Yeah.
this summer.
Did this movie make any money?
The budget for it was $9 million, and it made $44 million total.
But in '88, that's
But
not
in '88,
bad.
that's actually I had the
Adjusted-
ticket. Yeah, so it would have made $74 million today.
That's
For
not
a horror movie, that's not bad at all.
That's not
yeah,
bad.
for a low budget.
Yeah, for a $9 million
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, Bride of Chucky, if we're looking at world... Okay, so domestically, Child's Play made the most out of the franchise. Bride of Chucky's really, really close, though. Worldwide, Bride of Chucky made the most.
And you're saying the new ones are on Netflix?
The new
Is that
ones are on
right?
Netflix, yeah.
Have you seen the shorts, the Chucky Invades
No.
series?
No, what the fuck is
It's like
that?
a short where Chucky invades the Purge, and it's like scenes from the Purge, and then there's Chucky doing stuff. And it's the Purge and Mama and Drag Me to Hell and Psycho.
Okay, but not official. Like somebody
No,
just...
yeah.
And, okay,
But I mean, it's
gotcha.
not like fan created. It's like, you know.
Okay. No, I haven't... I can't believe I haven't
All right, we
heard
should
of those.
scary scale this movie.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we do that.
You
Yeah.
started this.
I did insist on
You
it.
forgot last time, too. I think Todd brought it up.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3. It wasn't overly scary, but like it was sort of like Frailty for me. But you saw the kills.
And that fucked you up a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, it just made me uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
there were a few jump scares where I literally like shook, like jumped. The kills made it. Disturbing. It was disturbing was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
word I
yeah.
was trying to choke out there.
No, I think I'm going to give it a 3 too, because I do think that
what the fuck just happened? Like we just like we all
had a seizure.
Yeah, we all as a group lost our fucking minds.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 too because I agree. Like I think it's pretty dumb, but the scary parts are actually scary. The kills are good. Like there's a decent amount of gore, but it's not too much. Like I don't like a lot of gore, and this isn't too much for me. Clint?
I mean, I want to be a trailblazer here, but
are you gonna give it a 9?
I'm gonna say a 3.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I was like somewhere between a 3 and a 4. It was a little bit creepier than I remember, but yeah, it's just not a very scary movie.
It was
just
entertaining
by
though.
Nature. It's very entertaining.
I avoided this one for the longest time because I thought it was like I looked down on it. Like this is a stupid movie. I also like confused it with Child's Play. No, wait, this is Child's Play.
This is
you were
Child's
still
Play.
confused.
I am
years
still
later.
confused. What is it? Problem Child? Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Just looks like the
they both
worst
played
movie
on,
ever.
Yeah, both played on USA Up All Night. Both have red hair. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Gilbert
Yeah.
Gottfried is not in any of the
Not
Child's Play
just a
movies, though.
hat.
He's not.
He hosts it, though.
I do not like Gilbert Gottfried.
What movie are we doing next?
Next week. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. We're doing our first Stephen King adaptation. Ooh, and it's a Frank Darabont
Why
one.
am I not surprised? You're excited.
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We are watching The Mist, which lots of people say is the best Stephen King adaptation.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Stephen King adaptation. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
By Frank Darabont. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that name before. Has he done anything else?
Frank Darabont?
No,
yeah.
Stephen King. Has he done anything else?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar
Stephen
with
King.
him.
Hey, how much time do you have? Because I could talk for an hour.
Right. Oh, I know. I know.
Hey, and listeners, if you want to read along too, this is actually one you probably could do in a week. There's not a book called The Mist. It's a novella in the short story collection Skeleton Crew. So I'm going to try to read it. Not sure I'm going to make it, but
all right. So next week's movie is The Mist.
The Mist. Yes.
Get it watched.
Woohoo!
And I guess we'll see what The Mist is about.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Make it a little misty.
All right.
Wah, wah.
So we we talked about this last week on last week's. Actually, I think it was the Friday the 13th podcast.
I think so. Yeah.
Podcast. We talked about how we were going to give away 3 mugs to 3 of the reviewers.
We've been posting them on social media.
Right, we have. And the more reviews that we get, the better, the easier it is for people to find us because it moves us up in the algorithm. So we really appreciate it. Please keep doing it. I think we're up to 42, which is insane. That's
hey, and look,
so good.
it's really easy. It only has to be one sentence. Like you don't have to write a whole
5
paragraph.
stars, 1 sentence.
All you have to say
gets you
is
entered.
Jen is the funny one.
But let's be realistic, though. Don't make up
No,
wild accusations.
I think a Russian wrote that review.
Yeah, Jen's clearly got some Russian bots for hers. So we literally have a mug. We just posted it on social media. We have a mug full of names, and Jen's going to pull out 3 different names.
I get to pull all 3 of them out?
You do, because I want people to blame you if you pull out their name. A premeditated.
Too much pressure.
Right, exactly. All right, so pull out the first name. Let's see what it is.
All right.
What is this?
Bob at 99.
Spider plus Bob. Spider T Bob at 99.
This might be a good time to reveal that I have atrocious handwriting.
I was about to say, your handwriting is atrocious.
I know. I am patient 0 for humanity losing the ability to write by hand.
Okay.
I'm being studied
I didn't
currently.
realize that was a thing.
Oh, it is.
All right. So Spider plus Bob or Spider T Bob 99.
Yeah.
You won one. We're gonna. I guess I'll reach out to you on social. And
And you can also email just in general if you have stuff to say at horrorvirgin@gmail.com.
No, it's info@horrorvirgin. Yeah,
good.
horrorvirgin.com. I set that up last week.
I'm glad someone knows.
So we actually have a legit domain, like our website, horrorvirgin.com.
Yeah.
With that, we have an email address, info@horrorvirgin. We got 2 more to pull out, guys.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't your name, here's the second one.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Go to
Deckard Pond.
Deckard Pond. That's one of the most recent ones, right?
Yeah, it is one of the most
nice.
recent
All right,
ones.
cool.
Never too late, man.
So Deckard Pond, we're gonna get you one too, and I'm gonna have to get these people's addresses and ship them to them and all that stuff. Okay,
he's okay, guys. It's okay to give him your address.
I might show up and deliver it wearing just the mug, ladies,
like with a big boombox above your head and the mug, like just hanging on.
It's my dick in a mug.
Step 1.
You're gonna cut a hole in the mug. It already has
Don't cut a hole in the mug.
All right, we got one more. We got one more to pull out, guys.
Oh my god.
So here's the last one. And honestly, I'll say this: if this isn't your name, we have more mugs to give away.
Yeah.
We will be continuing to do this. So keep getting the reviews in.
We're gonna keep your name in the mug.
Yeah,
too.
so if
we'll keep
that's
your
a good
name
point.
in the mug.
Yes, we're going to keep that name in the mug, girl. So if this isn't your name and the name is
Sick Stranger 420.
Six Stranger
No,
420.
Sick Stranger 420.
Sick Stranger
I feel like
420.
this guy's got
All right.
some
Cool.
interesting
Yeah,
hobbies.
someone definitely likes the pot. And
Hey, you can keep your pot in the mug.
Yeah.
You can keep your pot in the mug.
keep your pot in the mug, girl.
Except not in the state of Tennessee.
Well, no, only in Vermont, Colorado, and California, Oregon, and I don't know.
I don't know.
States.
Jamaica?
Google it. I don't live in one of them. I can't
To the
smoke pot.
Google.
Yeah, to Google. All right, guys. We're going to keep everyone who hasn't won in the mug. We're just going to leave the mug here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's our pod mug.
Next week, we'll pull
Yeah.
one out, I think.
Yeah, we'll pull one out. And hey,
Sounds
if you
good.
get your mug and you want to shoot us a picture of you enjoying your mug with a
that
beverage.
is a must.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, do not send us a picture of doing inappropriate things.
Yeah,
with your
I don't
mug.
want
We
a
don't
picture
want
of you with your dick in the
mug.
mug. Yeah, I don't want that dick in the mug, girl.
I feel like you and I know 2 phrases of that song, and we keep just singing it.
Fuck yeah, dude. So, guys, make sure you follow us at Horror Virgin on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And please rate and review us. If you like the show,
Yes.
rate and review
Please,
us.
that would be
It really
amazing.
helps other people find us if you rate and review us. So please do that. You know, all that stuff. Go to horrorvirgin.com, whatever that is.
There might be a website.
If you need to
sometime
yell
soon.
at us, yell at us. Do whatever
Yell at
you,
Todd.
do whatever you got to do.
And
Yeah,
Clint.
yeah.
Yell at me.
Todd.
Yell
Don't
at me.
Jen and Clint can't handle it.
Yell at me at Todd J. Awesome. If you have good things to say, send that to the at Horror Virgin. If
Yeah.
you want to yell at a douche who is,
Aw.
doing all the work for this, then that's
Yeah,
at
you guys
Todd
let
J.
me know what's
Awesome.
happening on the Twitter and the Insta chat.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how long we allow that to happen.
Right.
I may take it off my phone.
I'm Clint.
I'm Todd.
I'm Jennifer.
See you next time.
Bye.